Launch into the final 4 games of the 2009 campaign. 4 games that will decide if they rejoin college football's elite. And they have one of the nation's top receivers, Michael Floyd, returning to the lineup 7 weeks after breaking his collarbone. The opponent is Navy, already a winner of 6 games, and with memories of their triple overtime win here 2 years ago still fresh in their minds. And they're happy to have quarterback Ricky Dobbs back at full strength after a knee injury. It's one of college football's longest running rivalries, the Irish and Midshipmen. Up for grabs and grabbed by who else? It's the customary sellout crowd at Notre Dame Stadium, gathering to see the Irish play Navy. Notre Dame looking for its 7th win of the season, and they welcome Michael Floyd back into the lineup after breaking his collarbone earlier against Michigan State. It'll give that potent Notre Dame offense still another weapon. Armando Allen, number 5, will not play today. Robert Hughes will take his spot in the starting lineup. So Michael Floyd and Golden Tate, 2 of the best receivers in all of college football, and Jimmy Clausen operating at quarterback, one of the leading contenders for the Heisman Trophy this year. It is a gorgeous afternoon at Notre Dame Stadium, unseasonably warm for November, and the Irish and their fans getting fired up, and here come the Irish. So Notre Dame making their appearance on the field, and there is Michael Floyd back in the lineup today, given clearance by the doctors. Coach Charlie Weiss saying after he got clearance he would ask Michael and leave it up to him. Michael consulted with his mother and is back on the field ready to play 7 weeks after breaking that collarbone with what looked to be a touchdown catch but was ruled not against the Spartans of Michigan State. And ready to make their appearance here at Notre Dame Stadium. Remember, they won here 2 years ago. The Midshipmen of Navy. The Navy team visiting Notre Dame Stadium for the first time since their epic 3 overtime battle 2 years ago. The streak has ended at Notre Dame Stadium for the first time since 1963. Navy has beaten Notre Dame. Every year since 1927, Notre Dame and Navy have played in college football's longest continuous intersectional rivalry. It's a game of pride, tradition, and mutual respect. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish take on the Navy Midshipmen, coming up next.
Comedy on NBC Thursday always has
the element of surprise.
Whether it's an alternate universe on Community.
Who's that old guy?
Hi, I'm Chris Arthur.
Oh, come on!
Or a shocking new guest star on Parks and Rec.
You named your bunion?
Paul Bunyan.
And it's an office whodunit mystery.
It wasn't me.
We're hoping for a sweet ending.
Molasses spilling out of your mouth.
Plus, a 30 Rock proposal that can't be refused.
I knew you would say yes.
It's all new, Thursday on NBC.
As a small business...
Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium and a matchup between a couple of 6-win teams. The 83rd meeting between Navy and Notre Dame. They first played in Baltimore back in 1927. Notre Dame has ruled the series, of course, and have won 44 of the last 45. The only time they didn't here at Notre Dame 2 years ago. Earlier this week, the brand new Navy assault ship USS New York sailed into the harbor of its namesake city. The sailors and Marines lining the rail as they passed ground zero. The ship contains 7.5 tons of steel from the wreckage of the Twin Towers, and this morning was officially christened and welcomed into the U.S. fleet. And with Veterans Day next week, and with the tragedy of Fort Hood fresh in our minds, we honor all veterans with the playing of our national anthem. Here's public address announcer John Thompson.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and join us in honoring America with the playing of our national anthem, conducted by Notre Dame's Director of Bands, Dr. Ken Dye.
And in the clear blue sky, expecting a flyover from Navy F-18 Super Hornets. Lieutenant Mark Huber, Naval Academy graduate, in the lead plane. And Lieutenant Huber's brother is a Notre Dame grad. So the pregame festivities here at Notre Dame Stadium, and now ready for the 83rd meeting between the midshipmen and the Fighting Irish. Back in our perch high above Notre Dame Stadium. Tom Hammond and Pat Hayden here for Navy and Notre Dame. And of course it is a big welcome back to Michael Floyd. The Irish get one of their top receivers, one of the best in the nation, back in the lineup.
Well, it's a tough day to be a defensive coordinator at Navy as Michael Floyd comes back after missing the last 5.5 games with that shoulder injury. Remember what he did before that, Tom. He only had 11 catches, but 5 of those went for touchdowns, and he was averaging over 27 yards a catch. Now, his return, what does that mean to Golden Tate, who's been sensational in his absence? Well, he may not be catching as many passes. Golden Tate averages about 7 catches a game, but they want to get him as many touches as they've gotten him in the past. Might see a little bit more wildcat from him as well. And for Jimmy Clausen, Christmas comes a little bit early with the return of Michael Floyd.
Well, good injury news for the midshipmen as well. Their quarterback, Ricky Dobbs, missed 1 whole game, played only 7 plays in the loss against Temple a week ago, but he's back now. He tells us he's 100%.
And, you know, we get to see this Navy option attack every 2 years. It's really it's very, very efficient. They led the nation in rushing the last 4 years. And Ricky Dobbs, he's the guy that leads that attack. Now, he's a little bit different. Most of the time they lead with the fullback. You know, the fullback's been the star of this team. Ricky Dobbs plays quarterback like a fullback, and as his coaches told us this week, probably the best passing quarterback they've had at Navy in the last decade.
But Michael Floyd is the big news, returning to the Notre Dame lineup after a pretty remarkable recovery from that broken collarbone. Right, Alex?
You are right, Tom. Michael Floyd leading the nation in receiving yards when he was injured 7 weeks ago here at Notre Dame Stadium. It was was on a play against Michigan State where he was trying to make a catch in the end zone. He was hit and landed on his left shoulder, breaking his collarbone. He has since had a metal plate attached to the bone and has been cleared by doctors, including the renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. James Andrews, who earlier in the week told Floyd that his bone has healed enough to play. Now, key in this game will be keeping him from re-injuring the collarbone, and he has been advised on how to fall to not do that. Charlie Weiss, also his play calling and even the routes that Michael Floyd will be running have all been tailored to avoid him taking a hit to the left side. But Tom, you would imagine that that might be almost virtually impossible to do in a game.
And as we spoke to Michael, he didn't seem to be too worried about it. Cleared by the doctors, cleared by the coaches, but the final word was from his mother, Teresa. He called her up, Michael did, and she said, son, if you feel you're 100%, then go for it. And he's back on the field today.
Well, that's the most important okay, right? For
That's
mom.
right. So ready to go with the Irish and Notre Dame. Navy won the toss and elected to defer to the second half, so Notre Dame will have the ball first. Here's a look at Jimmy Clausen, who's getting loose, continuing to impress and continuing to be in the Heisman race. The junior from Westlake Village, California, who has passed already for over 2,300 yards this season. And John Teague will kick it off for the midshipmen with Barry Gallup and Theo Riddick, the deep men for Notre Dame. That's Theo Riddick.
And these return games for Notre Dame the last few years against Navy, they've been pretty tough. This is a tough matchup physically for the midshipmen, but every 2 years they seem to match up and make it a fourth quarter game, Tom.
Well, at the end of the game last year, they had a couple of onside kick recoveries. Coach Charlie Weiss saying, we saw every kind of onside kick possible in practice this week. Riddick couldn't pick it up on the first hop, but then fields it, dodges a couple of tacklers, and fights his way out across the 30-yard line, where the Notre Dame offense will put it in play. And Jimmy Clausen with a final word for his offensive lineman. He continues his extraordinary season, now with 18 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions.
And you see the 67% completion percentage. To me, that's phenomenal, considering how many deep balls he throws, Tom. Those aren't a bunch of little short passes to get to that completion percentage.
Clausen lines up with a shotgun on first down. And is going to go to the air right away and finds Michael Floyd. You had to think that Charlie Weiss would get Michael Floyd into the game early, and the first pass comes his way.
Yeah, you won't see it. That's not going to be the last throw that they throw Michael Floyd's way as well. It's a tough physical matchup for the defensive corner. Big cushion there Blake Carter gives him. Just a simple little out route. Well timed once again by Jimmy Clausen. And boy, when you have him on one side, Golden Tate in the other, and then Kyle Rudolph in the middle, Tom, that's tough.
First down at the 45, and Floyd gets that first hit out of the way too, which is probably a mental stumbling block. He's over that now. Robbie Paris catches that one as we look at the Adidas starting lineups for the Notre Dame offense. And Trevor Robinson, the right guard, out with a sprained ankle, so Dan Wenger steps in for him today. The Irish starting with 3 wide receivers, including Floyd. Armando Allen injured. Robert Hughes, off 130 yards last week, gets the call. Second and long for Jimmy Clausen from the Irish 47. Play action fake, and Clausen, flushed from the pocket, unloads it to Paris. And forward progress will put him into Navy territory at about the 49-yard line, where he's stopped by Blake Carter.
And what you're seeing by the Navy defense early here, Tom, is the way teams have played Notre Dame the last 4 weeks. Trying, I should emphasize, trying to keep Golden Tate in check, playing loose coverage, trying to keep the receivers in front of you. Then after Jimmy Clausen throws it, rally to the ball and force 3rd and 3 here.
Robbie Paris back in the lineup after missing the Washington State game with injuries. 3rd down and 3. And whistles. Still don't know if they're reviewing it or what the delay is here.
I think they actually called it a catch on the field. Are they going to go back and the Big East officials upstairs will have another look at it?
Jack Kramer and Steve McBride.
It's a catch. It's a catch. Comes out.
And covered by Paris.
Yep. Well, Robbie Paris has taken some shots this year. Another one right there.
Every time he's hit, it seems to be a
big one.
Navy has challenged the ruling on the field that the pass was complete and then a fumble.
So Coach Ken Niumatalolo is challenging the ruling of a catch.
Well, you know, they challenged it, but Robbie Paris recovered it, right? Well, maybe the ball did come out, Tom. An indisputable. It looks like he has possession there, and then he turns and makes a move. Yeah, so
makes a football move.
Yeah, that is a catch. Should be a fumble.
And then recovered.
So I'm not sure why they actually.
Well, maybe not recovered by Paris. The last man on it, of course, was in the white of Navy, Ramvella. So it wasn't quite as simple a play as it first appeared.
Ramvella. Every time I think of Ramvella, I think of the game two years ago, and
when he went airborne, right?
Grew up in San Antonio, Texas, did Vela, but as he told us this week, a huge Notre Dame fan growing up. And Coach Niumatalolo has done a great job of kind of keeping this thing going. You know,
a disciple of Paul Johnson, who has taken his offense to Georgia Tech and become one of the top offensive teams in America on the ground, and continuing it here at Navy, the perennial leader in rushing nationally.
This is one of those teams that's really hard to prepare for in 1 week. You just cannot simulate the speed at which they go. There's Ramvella, the economics major, had that big play a couple years ago, and
Vela, who's headed to surface warfare after his graduation from the Naval Academy. And here's what they're reviewing upstairs. Robbie Paris.
Okay. Catch. Ball out. I thought Paris had it early. No, Ramvella is there to make the recovery. So actually, it was a pretty good. He got some good advice. The coach got some pretty good advice from upstairs.
Making the challenge.
It.
Niumatalolo was a quarterback in his college playing days at Hawaii. In his second season, succeeding Paul Johnson as the Naval Academy coach.
Yeah, this is you know, a disciplined team that you won't see very many teams play with more passion than these guys do.
Yeah, you mentioned the discipline. Annually one of the least penalized teams in college football.
After further review, the receiver completed the catch and did fumble the ball. The ensuing action was recovered by Navy. Therefore, it will be Navy's ball, first and 10.
They forced 5 turnovers last year, Tom. And on the opening drive by the Irish today, they turn it over.
A rare turnover by Notre Dame, only their 4th lost fumble of the season. And only their 7th overall turnover, as Ramvella makes the fumble recovery after Paris made the catch, and then on the way down lost the football.
And watch today how many white jerseys you're going to see around a receiver or ball carrier, because they're going to rally to that football after they play that loose coverage.
Coach Weiss and all the Notre Dame players saying the key to beating Navy today to match their effort. And there you saw some of that effort on that play. Ricky Dobbs back at quarterback. He's a running and rare for a Navy quarterback. Passing threat, he's accounted for 19 touchdowns in the total offense scheme of things.
A big day against Ohio State, where he threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 2 touchdowns. And he is a great short yardage runner. They use him a lot in 3rd and short and 4th and short situations.
So after the turnover, Navy with a first down at their own 48-yard line. Triple option. And Dobbs keeps following his fullback Murray for a good gain on first down. Here's a look at our Adidas starting lineups for the offense of the midshipmen. And as always, it's an undersized offensive line. Douglas starting at center as Bass moves from center to guard. The fullback Murray, the first option in the offense, is the leading rusher, averaging nearly 5 yards a carry. Green starts at a slot back for a banged-up Marcus Curry. Second down. Dobbs with another keep, and he'll have the Navy first down. Pat, to me, this is what Navy must do. They must control the football in that running game, shorten the game, take some time off the clock, and keep Jimmy Clausen on the sideline.
You know, just the way they possess it. You know, possess the ball. You know, eat up some clock. You know, watch. He's just going to run down here and get a couple of blocks by his left guard and left tackle. Again, another little option by Ricky Dobbs. So, you know, you got your fullback, you got your quarterback option, and then they'll pitch it. Antiteo, number 5, takes the pitch man, so it's a good read by Ricky Dobbs to keep it. And this is what you see a lot of quarterback reads, a lot of quarterback keeps. And even though they run the option, Ricky Dobbs makes a read every single play.
And Paul Johnson's Georgia Tech team leads the nation, and Navy is second in time of possession, and that's the formula for success for the midshipmen today. They have a first down at the Notre Dame 38, trying to take advantage of an Irish turnover. Dobbs again follows his fullback and has another good run, a first down, 11-yard gain. Ian Williams finally tracks down the elusive Ricky Dobbs.
Beautiful reading of Ricky Dobbs, but how about the blocking? New center today, Eric Douglas, and then Curtis Bass. Ordinarily the center is moved over to right guard. He just kind of controls the linebacker Torian Smith, and also G.G. Green comes through there. So they run that same quarterback keep, quarterback follow, which they call it, 3 times on this drive, all for at least 5 yards.
Ball at the 27 of the Irish, first down for Navy. Their opening series of the game after they recovered an Irish fumble. Kyle McCarthy zeroing in on the offense. Reverse pivot and a sack of Ricky Dobbs by Ian Williams.
Ian Williams, who played so well last week against Washington State, right down in here. And a guy that had an interception last week. You see the slant there by Ian Williams before with the big line splits by the Navy offensive line. They're bigger than most. There's opportunities for defensive linemen to get into those gaps and make plays like that. Look at the big splits right there. You see them. And then again, the defensive lineman's allowed to get through those to make a play.
Loss of 4 on the last play. Second down, 14. Dobbs again in trouble, throws it away. Actually throws it toward a receiver. Looked like he was throwing it away, but it finally comes down in the arms of his receiver, G.G. Green.
Well, it almost looked like a punt. You're right. But, you know, one of those second and long situations, which is not Navy's bailiwick, as we both know. Good pressure inside again, that time by Torian Smith. And Ricky Dobbs has absolutely no chance whatsoever.
4-yard gain on this heave.
Pretty good arm strength. You see why the coaches say he's the best passer we've had in 10 years, but 3rd and 10, they cannot live on 3rd and 10 situations today.
Ian Williams has been getting pressure on Dobbs. As you see the 3rd down conversion rate. Here's the option. Dobbs again with a keep. Still turning away, close to the first down. Determined run by the quarterback, Ricky Dobbs.
You're going to say determined run a lot about Ricky Dobbs. Ricky Dobbs played some fullback at the prep school before he played quarterback. So he's not your ordinary, you know, quarterback in this system. He gets a lot of yards after contact, breaks 1 tackle there, and really should have been stopped way short of the first down marks. And, you know, we're going to say you use this term effort about the Navy team on offense and defense a lot today. That's a pretty good example of it there, right there by Ricky Dobbs.
Ricky Dobbs, who always has a smile on his face. Keeps everybody loose. Here's the measurement, and just that much short of a first down. And Navy, for a lot of the season, will go for it on 4th down, and certainly with this much to go, I expect them to go for it.
Yeah, and I expect Ricky Dobbs to carry it. He's done it so much this year. Of course, every defender on Notre Dame's team knows that Ricky Dobbs carries it on 4th and short.
7 of 9 on 4th down with 4th and short. So a crucial play here early in the game for the midshipmen.
Trying to draw him off.
Yep, trying to draw him offside as they did a couple of motions and resets.
Timeout.
And then Navy will call a timeout.
Timeout of the half.
So unable to draw the Irish offside, and Navy calls a timeout. 4th down, and we would assume they will attempt a field goal when we come back to Notre Dame Stadium. Navy trying to get points off the Irish turnover.
Mr. Palomar.
These dramatic views of the Notre Dame campus and the game below. MetLife provides coverage of major sporting events while also providing you with guarantees for the ifs in life. Visit MetLife.com today. Navy with a 4th down at the Notre Dame 28-yard line. After calling the timeout, it looks like they will indeed go for it on 4th down and less than a yard. Dobbs with a sneak.
He got it.
And Navy picks up that 4th down conversion. They are now 8 of 10 on the season.
What percentage is that?
That's good.
It is very good, 80%. Good surge by Ricky Dobbs up front, following his center. Again, Eric Douglas, we said, kind of filling in for Curtis Bass, who's moved to right guard today. But the powerful, big, thick legs of Ricky Dobbs picks up that 1st down.
16-yard line. Navy with a 1st. And they give it to the fullback, Murray. And he's inside the Irish 5-yard line, tackled by Sergio Brown after a 12-yard gain.
Yeah, first time we've seen the fullback option, right? We've seen so much quarterback, but you better be careful of Vince Murray from Union, Kentucky. Good block by Curtis Bass, the right guard. And see him protecting the football. This is a guy that, even though he plays that fullback position, never knows whether he's going to get the ball or not. It's never a called play. He's never sure, but he's had some long runs this year of over 40 yards.
1st and goal, 4-yard line. Whistles blow that one dead.
Well, Navy's moved early, but they had something on the perimeter
number
there.
70 of the offense. 5 yards, 1st down.
Matt Malloy with a false start. That's Jerry Magalanes of the Atlantic Coast Conference, an ACC field crew today with Big East replay officials.
Well, this first quarter thus far could not be going any better than it is for the midshipmen right now. Caused a turnover on defense and then really eating up a lot of clock on offense.
And threatening to score. But now 1st and goal from the 9. Fullback Murray. Murray is from, as you said, Union, Kentucky, which is close to the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport. His dad is a Delta Airlines pilot and was a Navy pilot before that. And Vince wants to follow his dad and become a flyer as well.
He said he grew up watching the Army-Navy game as a kid, and he always wanted to play in that game. Started the year as a 2nd-team fullback, but after an injury to the 1st-team guys, really emerged as a pretty good player.
2nd and goal. This time it's Dobbs with the keep. That quarterback following his fullback Vince Murray.
You know, the amazing thing to me about Ricky Dobbs is how powerful he is as a runner and how physical he is. He's still able to throw the ball pretty well for them. It's a tough thing to have finesse when you're getting hit by linebackers and safeties. Yeah, we've seen 16 scoring touchdowns this year for Ricky Dobbs on the ground, which leads the nation.
Spot the football at the 1-yard line. 3rd down and goal. Dobbs stopped short, it appeared.
Well, I think it was Ian Williams who kind of got some really early penetration. You see number 95 in the blue right in the middle. Ian Williams got early penetration, and Ricky Dobbs just kind of tripped over him. Great play inside by Ian Williams. Right in here. And he just gets right underneath that low left guard, Osei Osante, to make that play.
So 4th down and goal from the 1-yard line. Already on this drive, Navy has converted a 4th and 1.
Well, they're going to have to use a timeout. There's only 7 seconds left on the play clock.
And they will, it appears. There it is, the timeout called by Navy. Chewing up the clock after recovering the Notre Dame fumble, but now they've got to pay it off with a score, and they're facing a 4th and goal from inside the 1-yard line. Big early play coming up when we return to Notre Dame Stadium. Fourth and goal from inside the 1 for Navy. Already 11 plays, 50 yards, and over 6 minutes off the clock. now trying for the points after the Navy recovery of the Notre Dame football. 4th and goal. Dobbs keeps for the touchdown.
They got a little bush push there now, which is still legal from his fullback Vince Murray, but really an efficient, perfect drive by the midshipmen. This is what they do to every single one of their opponents, and as their coaches told us this week, they seem to play really well when they come to Notre Dame Stadium.
And on that drive, 12 plays, 51 yards over 6 minutes, converting 2 4th and 1s, including the run for the touchdown. Here's Joe Buckley with the point after attempt, which is good. So Navy, Ramvella recovering the Robbie Paris fumble, and then led by their quarterback Ricky Dobbs. Navy marches down the field, chewing time off the clock to get the first score of the game.
You know, Ricky Dobbs kind of makes up a handshake every week for his teammates. I just saw him kind of messing around with some of his teammates right there. Before the game, though, he comes out and right before the game, he does all the handshakes with 3 or 4 of his players, offensive players, and he's talked to us this week about it. There's one, but each week he spends a lot of time kind of designing new handshakes each week. He said he's you know, an infectious guy, Tom.
Right.
Told us point blank he wants to run for president in 2040. And pretty impressive young man.
Coach Niumatalolo said he'd vote for him.
Yeah.
And he was naming some of his teammates perhaps as running mates in 2040. There are some of the individual handshakes he has for different members of his team. Quite an inspirational leader. As we said, always with a grin. Even at the walkthrough yesterday as they were working out, mostly playing games here at Notre Dame Stadium, had a big grin on his face. So Teague will kick it off to Riddick. Theo Riddick. Gang tackled at the 31-yard line, where Notre Dame will start just about the same starting position they had to open the game. They picked up a first down and then the fumble by Paris. Here's the Adidas starting lineups for the Navy defense. A 3-man front and 4 good linebackers. Captain Ross Pospeville is the top tackler, and a veteran secondary with Middleton leading. He has 3 interceptions.
Yeah, Ross Pospeville, number 51, is all over the field. You watch enough Navy tape, you see Pospeville making a bunch of tackles.
Robert Hughes getting the run to the 35-yard line.
You know, Tom, we were talking to Ross Pospeville this week. He said something I think rather interesting. He said, you know what, if it's on paper, Notre Dame should win this game easily every year. He said we don't play him on paper here. This game's important to us. And a guy that only applied to one school, that was the Naval Academy.
He said that was probably foolish on my part, but you know, it's worked out well.
His grandfather graduated from there in '57 and always wanted to come.
Clausen all day to throw, finally finds someone. It's Hughes out of the backfield for a Notre Dame first down.
Yeah, great decision making by Jimmy Clausen, but not a lot of pressure by Navy. That's one of the things they don't do particularly well is rush the passer.
Pospisil and Schaefer making the tackle.
Watch the time Jimmy Clausen has. Last year he threw 2 interceptions because he was forcing it downfield in this kind of coverage. Today, as he did last week, hey, just give it to Robert Hughes and pick up a first down.
A moment ago you saw some of those scores going by, including Northwestern's upset at Iowa, knocking the Hawkeyes from the list of unbeatens. They've been flirting with defeat every week, and it caught up with them today.
Really helps the Irish.
Yep. Clausen fakes the handoff, chased from the pocket on the run, short to Hughes, and out of bounds. So we see the patience again of Jimmy Clausen. This has been the norm for him in recent weeks. Soft secondary coverage in the teams he's playing, and forced to go underneath.
You're right. Everybody's playing soft because they're afraid of Golden Tate and now Michael Floyd, so you force them to dump it short. But watch 3 white jerseys come up and make the play on Robert Hughes over the left part of the screen. Again, this is what they rally to the football, so there's not a lot of yards after the catch. That's one of the key things for the midshipmen.
Second down and 7 for Notre Dame.
Big cushion for Michael Floyd.
Again, a play action fake. Clausen whips it to Floyd. And Floyd shakes the first tackler, then knocked out of bounds around the 30-yard line by Wyatt Middleton. That's a 23-yard gain. Second catch for Michael Floyd, returning from injury.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. You got one guy, Golden Tate, on the other side. Here's the other. If you're the defensive coordinator, what do? You give him a big cushion and makes the catch, and then the yards after the catch.
You want a double.
Yeah, it's tough because then you got Kyle Rudolph up the middle, but Golden Tate has not touched the ball yet.
From the 30, first down Notre Dame. Swing pass Hughes. Robert Hughes backed up. Hit hard by Tyler Simmons. He just stood him up and then slammed him to the turf. Robert Hughes taking that hit from Simmons.
You know, I always enjoy watching Navy play. And we do this game every other year. They play with energy. They play with discipline. They play with toughness. You know, these guys aren't worrying about leaving early and going to the NFL, winning the Heisman Trophy. This is it for them. And they play it like it's going to be their last game.
Jimmy Clausen, 7 for 7 to open the game, 58 yards. Here's the Wildcat formation with Golden Tate to take the direct snap. Our first down line brought to you by Xerox. Tate surrounded by the Navy defense. Good play. Pospisil and others ready for the Wildcat run from Tate.
Well, that's the second tackle we've seen by Pospisil on this drive. One of their co-captains, a guy who told us that really remembers that 2007 win a couple of years ago. Remembers every moment about it.
Yeah, says to him it was like it was yesterday.
Yeah. So the whole brigade got Monday off of classes.
Except the football players.
Exactly.
They had to practice.
Yeah.
Third down for Notre Dame. 3rd and 8, Clausen in the shotgun. His pass on target to Rudolph. And we'll see where his forward progress was marked. Kyle Rudolph, I don't think he had enough for the first down, did he?
No. 3-man rush, 8 guys back in coverage. Well, everybody's kind of playing Notre Dame the same way the last 4 weeks. See, just 3-man rush, the nose tackle backed off in zone coverage. Once again, not a lot of yards after the catch.
Rudolph had to come back for the football and so did not have first down yardage. And so coming in for a field goal attempt will be Nick Tausch. He's hit 14 in a row, a Notre Dame record. This one from 42 yards. Freshman from Plano, Texas. On its way. And it is no good. So Tausch, who had hit 14 in a row, pushes it left. And Notre Dame drives down the field but fails to score. Still 7-zip Navy. Go to irish.nbcsports.com now and blog live about the Irish while watching today's game. You can also get analysis, live commentary, and more only at nbcsports.com. Navy leading Notre Dame 7-0. As Nick Tausch, the freshman place kicker, with his first missed field goal since the Michigan game. He'd hit a Notre Dame record 14 in a row. So Navy takes over. First down run. Dobbs keeping. Tripped up in the backfield and falls forward. Darius Fleming got the penetration. As we check our Adidas starting lineups for that Notre Dame defense. A lot of pressure on the defensive line trying to stop that triple option, but Ian Williams already is off to a good start in the game. They'll keep rotating in fresh bodies there. Coach Weiss says freshman linebacker Manti Te'o will have a field day because of his athleticism. Kyle McCarthy leads in tackles and interceptions. He picked off 5. Second down and 9. Option pitch. Teach with a head of steam down the sideline into Notre Dame territory where Harrison Smith chases him down. A 32-yard gain.
You know, they're smaller. They're not as fast. None of these guys were recruited by Notre Dame, but boy, are they disciplined, and they seem to do everything right. Teach, who's the fullback, a little counter option. Good block by Asante. And it's the first one they really got out on the perimeter, Tom. You know, it's tough yards in the inside, but if you can get some pitches on the perimeter, that's where the long runs come from. And you get a little different look with the pitch to the fullback on the outside.
First down Navy. Keep by Dobbs. Only a couple of yards that time.
It was interesting. You said Manti Te'o was going to have a field day. Coach Weiss did. He does not have a tackle yet. And if you're a defensive lineman, this is a tough offense to play against because you're constantly getting cut. You try to keep those guys away from your knees and your ankles. And
all legal blocks, but
yes,
they're so undersized that Navy employs those cuts.
As a matter of fact, Jeff Battipaglia, the left tackle, had 19 knockdowns against Rice, times where he completely knocked the defensive end on the ground.
On 2nd and 8, fullback, Teach.
It's a poor tackle by Brian Smith. Teach ran right through Brian Smith.
And Sergio Brown makes the tackle right at the first down marker. And they'll have to take a long look at this one. Carry by Alexander Teach. He's had 2 good carries on this drive.
Well, the quarterback fullback mesh, they call it, when you hand it to that fullback. Fullback never really knows whether he's going to get it or not.
It's up to the quarterback to read whether he does or not, right?
Exactly. And look, Brian Smith was right there. And Brian Smith outweighs Teach by 25 pounds, but ran right through it.
And just short by a couple of inches. So it'll be 3rd down and a couple of inches for the midshipmen.
Well, they have got it going in time of possession and efficiency. And
this is, we said, what Navy must do to beat Notre Dame here at Notre Dame Stadium. And they've controlled the ball through the first quarter with 57 seconds remaining.
Yeah, 94 yards rushing already in this first quarter, Tom. Look at the difference in the offensive line of Navy and Notre Dame's defensive line. But they're smallish, but they are very quick, and they cut block. And if you're a defensive lineman, it's not a fun day.
3rd down and inches. Keep by Dobbs for another Navy first down. Mark it at the Notre Dame 30-yard line. Navy already leading by 7 and threatening to add to their lead.
We've already seen the slot backs a little bit. You know, those are Gigi Green and Bobby Doyle, number 21 and 33. Those are guys that take those outside pitches, but when they're not touching the ball, you know, they've got to be really good blockers.
So the only time we've really seen the pitch was to the fullback Teach. 30-yard line, first down Navy. Triple option. Dobbs just tripped up as he came to the 25-yard line. Looked like that might even go for more, but Harrison Smith able to get a hand on a foot and bring Dobbs down.
The Navy offensive lineman down. And I believe it's Jose Osante, who's had a really good first quarter.
Senior from Houston, who, as you mentioned earlier, is one of the captains, which is a high honor at the Naval Academy.
Yeah, I think being a captain anywhere is a high honor. But one of the academies, being a captain, something special.
6 seconds remaining, first quarter. We'll take a break. Jose Asante on the Navy bench after being helped from the field and getting his ankle taped. And the clock will start in the final 6 seconds. Will tick away to end the first quarter. Navy recovered a Notre Dame fumble, marched down the field to get 7 and threatening to add to their lead here as the first quarter comes to a close with Navy leading Notre Dame 7-0. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Navy leading Notre Dame 7-0, and the midshipmen with a 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line of the Irish. Andy Lark has replaced the injured Osai Asante at left guard. Lark, 6'2", 267 senior. Here's Dobbs handing to the fullback. Murray sprinting to the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, I tell you, this is what I said. It's so difficult to prepare for these guys in 1 week, and this game is so important to the midshipmen. Other than Army, this is the biggest game on their schedule. And, you know, the Irish just do not have a solution for either the fullback or the quarterback in this first half thus far.
Vince Murray, a 25-yard touchdown sprint, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, as Buckley attempts the extra point. And it is good.
There's some good blocking for Vince Murray right up the gut, the heart of this defense. Te'o gets blocked. There's no safety anywhere in sight. They're worried about the pitches. And beautiful play calling by Ivan Jasper. Yeah, what a nice block, too, by Eric Douglas, the center. Boy, he's had a nice first half. And so is this guy. This guy's had a good season.
And Dobbs running the show, celebrating as well, as the Navy has dominated this game so far on both sides of the football, really.
Yeah, Navy has 128 yards rushing thus far, Tom. We just started the second quarter. Notre Dame has 2 yards rushing.
People say, well, Navy leading Notre Dame. Well, listen, Navy is a good team that have been for a number of years. As you see the comparison so far, domination by the midshipmen. So Teague will tee it up and kick it off. Theo Riddick and Barry Gallup, the deep men for the Irish, who need a spark of some kind.
Squibbed the last kick, trying to prevent a big kickoff return.
Teague with the kick. Riddick squirting right up the middle. Dodged one tackler, caught from behind, stopped short of the 40-yard line. And we talked about Navy and their credentials. Well, they're pretty impressive credentials. Since 2003, 6 straight winning seasons. 6 straight seasons with at least 8 wins, which is also a school record. 6 consecutive bowl appearances. And a record 4 consecutive seasons leading the nation in rushing and dominating the most important thing to them, the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, competing against Air Force Academy and Army. So it's no fluke for the midshipmen under Paul Johnson and now Ken Niumatalolo. Jimmy Clausen's first down pass caught by a wide open Duval Camara. Gains about 8 yards on the first down play. Ramvella the tackle.
Tom, we've talked so much already about the effort of these Navy midshipmen. Watch the helmet the paint come off the helmet of some of these guys. It's just flying off. It's a helmet to helmet, and again, they're determined. They play with great effort, and you know, this is just a tough bunch to battle, even if you outweigh them 30 or 40 players a man.
I don't ever think I've seen that. The gold paint coming off the helmets. Theo Riddick getting the call in the backfield. A new dimension. Riddick, we've always known to be a speedster, but against Washington State last week, we saw some power running from Riddick, and that's what we get right here. Well,
Charlie Weiss thinks he has a good combination with Theo Riddick, who is got some great speed. The Irish pick up the first down. And then Robert Hughes, who can pound it. And Coach Weiss was saying last week, hey, Robert Hughes finally found that identity where he's going to pound it. He's 240 pounds. Let's act like a 240-pound running back. And then this guy, Theo Riddick, can give you that change of pace.
First down on the Riddick run. 49-yard line of the Irish. Clausen fakes, rolls right. Plants his feet and delivers a strike to Michael Floyd. Floyd driven out of bounds, but has another first down. That one covered 14 yards.
Well, that's 3 catches by Floyd, but you know, I was wondering what was going to happen to Golden Tate, and it's clear that he's not getting as many touches as maybe they would like. And remember, Golden Tate averaged 7 catches per game coming in today. And I know that he did a lot of that when Michael Floyd was out, but as a play caller, you can never forget about Golden Tate.
Tate's had only 1 touch. That was from the Wildcat. Meantime, Jimmy Clausen 10 for 10 to open the game. Hand off to Riddick. And Riddick just short of the 30-yard line as we check in with Alex.
Hey, Tom and Pat, when you talk about the tremendous effort that this Navy team puts forth, they are ecstatic coming out and starting this game 14-0 against Notre Dame. But head coach Ken Niumatalolo came over to his team after that second score and yelled at them in a pretty stern voice, telling them, stay hungry. We are taking this game 1 play at a time. I do not want to see you smile at all. We have a long way to go, and walked away.
Well, he's right about that. It is a long way to go.
Clausen handing to Riddick. Theo Riddick. 2 nice moves, still going. Close to the 10-yard line. The freshman with a sparkling run of 19 yards. Tyler Simmons finally got it.
I tell you, you said 2 nice moves from Theo Riddick. You had spot on, Tom. First time this year, by the way. But watch the moves of Theo Riddick. We said he's really good on the outside. There's a move right there, and then a second one there, and then there's the third, and then breaks a tackle. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on there in that run by Theo Riddick. perfectly drawn up draw play, good blocking by their offensive line, got 7 helmets on 7 defenders, and then Riddick made a lot after that initial contact.
First down, Notre Dame at the Navy 12. Clausen, quick swing pass to Floyd. Michael Floyd driven out of bounds inside the Navy 5-yard line. Emmett Merchant, the safety spot, finally getting Floyd after his 4th catch on his return to action.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Michael Floyd, Charlie Weiss said he was going to get the ball to him a lot early in the game, and he certainly has. You forget, I've forgotten how big he is. You know, he's 220 pounds, hard to bring down. And Emmett Merchant did a good hustling job to get over to keep him short of the goal line. So both these wide receivers are tough runners after the catch for the Irish.
Floyd 4 catches, 59 yards. 2nd and 4 for the Irish. And off to Riddick. Ran into his own man. And then the pursuit stacks him up short of the first down.
There's been a couple of impressive runs by Theo Riddick. Even that one, it looked like he was going to be stuffed for maybe a 2-yard loss.
Look at the paint off his helmet.
Yeah. Wow, helmet to helmet.
Managers, of course, paint those Notre Dame helmets every week. You're going to need a double paint job next week.
You're right. You know, some of that paint, I'm told, actually comes from the paint they use in the Golden Dome. Kind of in the mix of the paint they spray on those helmets every Friday.
It looked like it was short of the first down, but after measuring, they find it is by half the length of the football, enough for 1st and goal, Notre Dame.
And well, here's where it gets tough for the Navy defense. And completely outsized by this big offensive line of the Irish. And then those backs as big as any linebacker on the team for Navy.
1st and goal, 2-yard line.
Buddy Green, the defensive coordinator.
Hughes back in at the setback. Pitch it to Hughes. Got a block in the corner, but Navy stayed with it, and even though he was being blocked, managed to stack it up. Rand Vella was there. I'm not sure.
Kevin Edwards is the first guy.
And Matt Nechak was there, and Kevin Edwards too.
Yeah, great play by Kevin Edwards. This is the guy who got his first start 2 years ago against Notre Dame in that upset. Watch number 15 right here in the corner make a play. I mean, he goes through Golden Tate's block, which is, and Golden Tate's a pretty good blocker, stuffs Golden Tate and then stuffs the runner. Heck of a play by Kevin Edwards.
Edwards made the play, being blocked, still managed to turn it in and let his teammates make the tackle. Didn't let him get outside. 2nd down, 2nd and goal from the 4 after a loss of a couple. Clausen again to Hughes. Maybe stacks him up.
Well, you know, Kyle Rudolph, their tight end, has such a height advantage over the Navy defense, and boy, they just continue to pound Robert Hughes in there, and I know why, but
this is a Navy team that gave up chunks of yardage to Temple a week ago.
Yeah, well, as I said, they always play this team well.
Yeah, when they get rushing yardage, they were just unable to stop Temple a week ago.
I'll tell you one thing, they've kept the ball away from Notre Dame so much.
3rd down and goal from the 3.
Well, I tell you, they've always liked Michael Floyd on fade routes.
There you go. Collision. Incidental contact. No flag. Blake Carter defending Michael Floyd. And it'll be 4th down and goal.
You know, when they split, they're either the wide receiver out or Kyle Rudolph. They get a before the play.
Timeout, Notre Dame. That's their first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Notre Dame. I didn't see a flag. I don't think he was signaling a legal procedure. I think he was saying just keep rolling until the timeout was called. So a big 4th down facing the Irish when we come back to Notre Dame Stadium.
Up by 2 touchdowns, but Notre Dame knocking on the door. Let's go back to that last fade route to Michael Floyd just a moment ago. They did not call this pass interference. Now, Blake Carter has his head turned. Ordinarily, when you get that head turn, the official is not going to call it. There were 2 officials right there. A no call. I think it was a good call.
So 4th and goal now from the 3-yard line. fake it. Clausen under pressure, throws for the end zone and incomplete. Well defended by Navy. They put pressure on Clausen, not fooled by the play fake. And Ram Vela bearing down on Jimmy Clausen.
How about Ram Vela? 2 years ago, he made that incredible stop on 4th down in 2007. Another 4th down play by Ram Vela right there. Right off the corner. Just goes through a block of Jimmy Clausen, has no chance. He's trying to get the ball to Robert Hughes, but Ram Vela just plays well on 4th down against the Irish. He did it 2 years ago. We talked about that play in the 4th quarter. This was late in the game. 4th and about 2 yards. Watch number 34 go over the top of Armando Allen. Sack 7 sharp.
How many times do you think that was pre-played?
One of the best plays I've ever seen, particularly under the circumstances.
So now Navy must start from the Notre Dame 3. Dobbs with a keep, crosses the 5 to the 6-yard line.
Ricky Dobbs has to be careful here. His ball security. You're playing great. Hang on to that football. And they do such a great job of that fullback quarterback mesh, not knowing that they're going to get that ball. I'm surprised it didn't pop out a little bit more, but
only 9 turnovers on the season, 6 lost fumbles.
He has really played well in this first half, and that offensive line did a good job of cut blocking. Those big line splits come out low.
2nd down, 7. Dobbs keeps.
Good play by
short of the 10.
Brian Smith that time. Brian Smith comes around and read that perfectly. Got a shoulder into Ricky Dobbs.
Eight and a half minutes in the first half. Navy pitching a shutout of Notre Dame so far. Dobbs has rushed for 54 yards. 3rd down and 4, deep in their own territory.
Really have not had many perimeter plays, just one pitch to the outside.
Here's a pitch to Green. G.G. Green.
Yeah, that's a late flag. The wide receiver really clipped Robert Bland. That's going to go against Nick Henderson. Nick Henderson, no reason Nick Henderson of midshipmen should go out and block Robert Bland. Not even close to the play. That's a stupid foul. Really a stupid foul. Left side of the screen, watch number 81, the wide receiver in the white jersey, on Robert Blanton, number 12. See, I say that's a cheap shot.
After the play,
it's way late.
Late hit, number 81 in the offense. That penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. It will be 4th down.
50 yards away from the play.
Navy, which leads the nation in fewest penalties, only 3.6 a game, with a costly one there, away from the play. So put the ball back at the 6-yard line, and 4th down for the midshipmen. Their punter, Kyle Delahook, averaging 43.2 yards a punt. John Goodman is deep for the Irish. Delahook boots it high. Goodman backpedals. Wow, good punt. John Goodman made a couple of men miss. Into Navy territory to the 45-yard line. A 12-yard return of a booming 51-yard punt. Notre Dame takes over again, still looking for their first points of the game. Tom Hammond, Pat Hayden, Alex Flanagan. Beautiful day at Notre Dame Stadium, where the Irish blanked by Navy so far, 14-0. 7:41 to go in the 2nd quarter.
What happened to Golden Tate?
Jimmy Clausen finding Kamara. Deval Kamara inside the Navy 30. Ram Vela chasing him down and forcing him out of bounds and into the brick wall that surrounds the stadium. A gain of 18 yards.
And Deval Kamara, a guy who is, a 3rd wide receiver for them, bigger than most of the defenders. He's on the outside, number 18. Big cushion, and then you see Blake Carter trying to come up and make the recovery. Blake Carter missed that tackle, but this season Blake Carter actually has been a pretty good tackler. But there's the guy. He has been disappeared. He was averaging 10 touches a game today, just once. No receptions.
Just one rush from the Wildcat formation. Clausen went right, then left, and finds Tate for his first reception of the game. Gang tackled and driven back. They'll mark forward progress at about the 22-yard line. A gain of 5 yards.
We were talking this week to Buddy Green, the defensive coordinator, Navy, about Golden Tate, and said, you know, the guy's really unusual. He said, I thought he put it well. He's a bruising running back with wide receiver skills. And he said, we just can't give him a lot of open space to be able to do to us what he's done to everybody else. He's a long-time defensive coordinator.
2nd and 5 for the Irish. Our first down line brought to you by Xerox. Here's the Wildcat formation with Golden Tate. Tate fakes the handoff and keeps. Goes straight up the middle and penetrates inside the Navy 20 down to the 19-yard line.
Well, sure would love to see Golden Tate throw one. You know, he's a left-handed player, and he's been awfully good, you know, running off tackle. But boy, the Navy defense has been there on that off-tackle Wildcat play. You see Charlie Weiss figuring, hey, I've got to get Golden involved one way. I got to get him his touches. Maybe not as a receiver, but let's get him some touches.
3rd down and 2. Normally they would have Robert Hughes in the game, but we're told he left the field a few moments ago.
Remember Armando Allen out too. Big cushion up top.
Handoff to Riddick. Theo Riddick again showing not only his elusiveness but his power. Wyatt Middleton brings him down, but not till the freshman picks up a first down.
Charlie Weiss said something to us early in the season, which interested me about Theo Riddick. You know, they had all these great running backs already at Notre Dame. They recruited a big running back out of Southern California, but he said, you know what I liked about Theo Riddick, he said, I was going to come regardless. I'm going to get some time to play. I don't care who's here. I don't care how many guys are ahead of me. I'm going to work my way up the depth chart and get my chance, and indeed he has.
Riddick with 5 carries for 35 yards. 14-yard line, first down Irish. Clausen, big cushion given to Floyd again, and the sophomore makes the catch in front of Blake Carter.
Well, his mom, Teresa, gave him that opportunity to play today, and mom's always right, aren't they, Tom? I mean, Michael, look at how much cushion there is here. And, you know, it's really tough for Blake Carter because he's playing against potentially an All-American wide receiver in Michael Floyd. And you don't want to give up the easy touch, but that's like practice there, an 8-yard gain.
Just pitch and catch. Yeah. 2nd down and 4. How many receptions for Floyd now?
Well, that makes a bunch.
4.
For 57 yards.
Flag down as Riddick gets the carry to the 5-yard line.
This inside play by Chase Burge, the nose tackle of Navy.
Here's the penalty call. False start against the Irish.
I had a chance to talk to Coach Nia Matalolo this week, and he was saying he loves coming to Notre Dame on the Friday and having the walkthrough. He said the people are so nice and so friendly.
Illegal formation on the offense. There was 5 team members in the backfield. That's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
You have to have 7 on the line of scrimmage and 4 in the backfield, and they did not. So look at Robert Hughes on the sideline. So now it's 2nd down and 9.
Kyle Rudolph in the slot.
He doesn't have a catch yet. Clausen going for the end zone, and Tate. No good, out of bounds. And into the band again. That's getting familiar, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the drum section. I think he was in the tuba section before. Giving Golden Tate a chance. This is what Jimmy Clausen has been so good this year, Tom, on touch passes, long passes. Kevin Thomas doing a really good job. Caught the ball again, but caught it out of bounds. No, then he dropped it.
Didn't even
yeah. Oof. Yeah, right into the drums.
Kevin Edwards defending in the end zone.
Yeah, Kevin Edwards has made a couple of nice plays in this first half. One on the run and one on the pass.
So now 3rd down and 9. Lawson going to the end zone again for Tate, and this one a little high. And once again, Kevin Edwards with him step for step.
Well, what a first half Kevin Edwards has had. All 3 plays, he and Golden Tate have been kind of matched up. One on that run where he kind of stuffed the block of Golden, and then 2 pass receptions. And remember, Golden Tate is the guy that's eaten everybody up this year, but Kevin Edwards, fine first half.
So Nick Tausch, who broke his 14-in-a-row string with a miss earlier in the game, will attempt a 30-yard field goal on 4th down. Tausch missed it again. After hitting 14 straight, he has now missed 2 in a row. And Notre Dame still blanked in the first half, 14-0 Navy. Notre Dame twice in the red zone, coming away without any points. A couple of missed field goals. And Navy takes over, leading 14-0, just over 4 minutes to go in the opening half. Notre Dame a little less than a 2-touchdown favorite, trailing by 14. Triple option after the reverse pit and the pitch to Green. G.G. Green picking up a first down. Got about 15 yards on the carry.
This is like a well-planned wedding. You know, everything is just going right according to plan for them.
Thankfully, I don't know about that.
Well, you will someday soon. I've done 2 of them. But, you know, again, good read, reverse pivot by the quarterback. You know, he sees that Teo's got him, just pitches it to G.G. Green, and another first down. When you're a quarterback in this option, you are going to take some shots. The fullback gets hit every play. The quarterback gets hit almost every play.
First down, 35-yard line of the midshipmen. Dobbs with a keep, tackled short of the 40-yard line.
It was old Mr. Dependable who made that tackle, Kyle McCarthy. You know, if I were a young Irish player, I would hang out with Kyle McCarthy because you are going to learn how to do things right with him. And he's a guy that came in and just did everything right. Didn't play that first year. Number 28 right back here. But what I mean is, you know, he went to class. He's a good student. He's just worked his way hard in the weight room, got a chance on special teams, ultimately got a chance to play, and has made the most of every opportunity. So a young kid should hang around him.
Here's the fullback Teach.
Darius Fleming making that stop.
Stop for a yard at best.
Well, Darius, we talked to him a few weeks ago. Quite a bowler, he told us. 9
bowling balls, yeah.
Custom made.
Yeah, carries 6 of them in his car.
Why would you need 6?
Just to make sure that it, you know, is right on the lane. It has to be have touch like he does. You can tell the difference.
Only 1 pair of shoes, though. 9 balls, 1 pair of shoes.
Here's a big 3rd down and 6. Dobbs keeps. Big gap. And Dobbs using his blockers downfield. Stacked up after picking up a huge first down. Sergio Brown after 17 yards.
You know, it's unless you're the defensive coordinator, John Tenuta, this is really beautiful to watch. I mean, they are not making any mistakes. And this quarterback, Ricky Dobbs, boy, has he been smart and intelligent with the ball. The pitch was not there, so he knows it's going to be his play. Got some good blocking downfield by some wide receivers. And, you know, it's like that big wave just keep coming at you.
172 rushing yards for the midshipmen of Navy. Teach with a determined run close to the first down sticks. He'll be a couple of yards short.
I tell you, the Irish defense really needs to make a stop. At least force a field goal attempt. Down 14 points. Boy, they've absolutely controlled the game.
Don't forget the Notre Dame halftime report coming up at intermission. Jimmy Roberts in our New York studio, scores and highlights from college football's top 25. This will get a lot of notice around the country. Peter King and Mike Florio with the latest NFL news and a closer look at tomorrow night's NFC East showdown in Philadelphia between the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Good play again inside. Harrison Smith, I think that time. 22, Harrison Smith making the play.
On Ricky Dobbs, Harrison Smith made the play, causing a loss. And
yeah, just what we said, they needed to make something happen defensively. This time, Harrison Smith, who's moved from free safety to strong, he's right down here, and he's moved to Sam linebacker, outside linebacker. Seems, Tom, to be a little bit more comfortable there. making the stop on Dobbs.
Not blocked, made the play on Dobbs, setting up a 3rd down and 3. Dobbs pitches, 1st down, Green. Inside the 30-yard line of Notre Dame, and Navy keeps chipping away. Sergio Brown, the tackle.
Just 1 timeout. Remember they used 2 timeouts in their opening drive, Tom. So they only have 1 out, 1 remaining.
Here they are in the hurry-up. And just taking the throw down, rookie Dobbs, to stop the clock.
And Coach Niumatalolo has, boy, he's gotten everything out of this first half that he hoped, right? Good, solid defense. Time of possession, you know,
and points.
And points. Haven't wasted anything.
In a dismal offensive first half for Charlie Weiss's offensive unit.
You're right, you know.
And everyone's saying now they're really going to light it up with Michael Floyd coming back, and here they are about to be blanked.
Well, they've forgotten Golden Tate a little too much.
Dobbs is going to pass for the first time. Or second time, excuse me, and the flag down is going to be roughing the passer as it was complete to Corey Finnerty, but Dobbs was roughed on the play by Sergio Brown, or one of the Irish anyway.
Yeah, either he or Darius Fleming would let him off the hook. That was a loss of about 8 yards.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 22 of the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, 1st down.
So Harrison Smith, costly roughing the passer penalty.
Well, he had one last year against Pittsburgh, if I recall correctly. Ball's gone. Oh yeah, that's an easy call. Stupid penalty. And really, they let him off the hook.
Yeah.
So that would have been, you know, 2nd and very, very long.
So spot the ball at the Notre Dame 17 with 20 seconds remaining, and Navy with 1 timeout left. 3 personal fouls whistled last week against Washington State, 2 of them on Eric Olson, the starting center.
Charlie Weiss was not happy about those.
He said it was a rough week for the offensive line, including Olson.
Well, 20 seconds remaining, still 1 timeout. But again, not as we said, not a great passing team. Good for Navy, but not a great passing team.
Clock ticking. It's going to be a halfback pass, but nobody there. Doyle was unable to get it off, and so tries to get the best he can.
Well, Doyle did a good job of using the 3 seconds remaining, getting the last timeout, didn't force the throw. Heads up play by Bobby Doyle, son of a football coach. Wants to coach football himself.
And you saw the timeout taken with 3 seconds left. Field goal attempt coming up in a moment. 3 seconds to go, first half. Navy leading Notre Dame 14-0, and Joe Buckley about to attempt a 30-yard field goal. He's hit 8 of 10 this season, including a couple of game winners.
Ethan Johnson for the Irish has blocked a couple extra point attempts this year.
30-yard attempt by Buckley. And looks like he set it wide right. No good on the field goal attempt to end the first half. But for the first time since 2008, Notre Dame blanked in the first half. And the last time Notre Dame trailed Navy at halftime was way back in 1997. The Irish will go to the locker room down 14-0 to the underdog midshipmen of Navy. Let's go to Alex.
Coach, with the exception of the missed field goal, it seems like the first half is pretty darn near perfect for you. What would you change?
Well, our kids are battling hard right now, but we know this is a great team. We got a long, long ways to go, and that's our message to these kids. It's you don't play football in halves. We got to find a way to finish.
I heard you telling them that after they scored the second touchdown, saying you don't want to see smiles on their faces. How do you find the effort and the energy in the second half?
Well, this is a great team. If you can't get up for this atmosphere, being in South Bend, I don't know when you can get up.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, so at halftime, Navy leading Notre Dame 14-0. Now stay tuned for the Notre Dame halftime report. And don't forget, the halftime performance of the Notre Dame band can be seen on NBCSports.com. Now let's head to Jimmy Roberts in our New York studio. Ready to start the third quarter at Notre Dame Stadium, and for the first time since 1974, Navy has blanked Notre Dame in the first half. The midshipmen leading 14-0. Here are the stats.
Yeah, the rushing yards, 190 rushing yards for Navy. I thought Navy actually had possessed it more, but really the time of possession has been even. but the midshipmen have been just very, very efficient when they've gotten in scoring territory.
Each team with just 4 first-half possessions as the midshipmen shorten the game, as was their game plan.
They ordinarily get 13 in a game, you know, roughly 7.5, so they really have shortened the game.
Teach and Snelson are deep as Ruffer is set to kick off for the Irish to get the second half underway. Ruffer puts his toe to it, and it'll reach the end zone. Teach will down it there for a touchback. Nice kickoff by Ruffer, reaching the end zone on the fly. Let's go to Alex.
Hey, Tom and Pat, you guys talked about Navy's ability to really shorten this game for Charlie Weiss, and that was what he talked to me a lot about at the half. You know, they've only had 4 possessions in this game. When I asked him about getting Rudolph and Golden Tate more involved on offense, he said we've only had the ball 4 times, 4 possessions, and if we have it more, we will get them more involved. Defensively, he says that they need to adjust to Navy's unbalanced line, saying that that's the biggest problem for them defensively so far.
Well, you know, Alex, I've only seen that when they've gotten inside the 10-yard line or so.
We'll keep an eye on it. Thanks, Scooter. Dobbs keeping. And to the 20-yard line, back to the line of scrimmage. Darius Fleming wraps him up there.
Let's go back and look at this triple option, which has been so difficult to defend in this first half. What's that first option, Tom? That fullback right up the middle. Vince Murray really goes virtually untouched, because everybody's worried about the pitch and the quarterback. Second option is your quarterback. This is on that quarterback follows one of his slot backs for another big gain. And then the big plays come on the perimeter. This one to Teach on the outside, beautifully executed by Ricky Dobbs.
Here's the fullback, Murray. Tripped up to the 25.
And now at a really important third down defensive play for the Irish. You know, they went into the halftime, had some adjustments. Coach Weiss talked to Alex, said, hey, we got to, you know, defend the balance line. But they have to get people more in position. That guy is John Tenuta. Manti Te'o said he was going to have a field day. Did not have a tackle in the first half, but he did cover the pitch a lot.
So third down and 5. Navy's done a good job on third down conversions for the season. 50% today. Pitch. Murray. Murray with a first down. Once again, the triple option biting off chunks of yardage. That one for 19. Sergio Brown the tackle.
Counter option, but these wide receivers, watch Mario Washington, number 85, kind of stalk his defensive back walls. And again, if you're going to have big plays at the perimeter, you've got to have blocks like that. And then the triple option one more time. Good pitch. Good, perfectly read by Ricky Dobbs. You know, Jimmy Clausen reads defensive backs. Ricky Dobbs reads linemen and linebackers.
First down, Navy. Fullback, Murray. The first option and the triple option gets about 3.
Vince Murray now has 140 carries this year, Tom. He's only lost 1 yard. 1 yard and 140 carries. So you know when you give that ball to the fullback, he's going to get you something. And, you know, there it didn't look like much. He got 4 yards.
Today's first down line brought to you by Xerox.
Midshipmen have gotten a lot of them.
Second down and 6. Give it to G.G. Green. And stopped short of midfield. It'll be another third down for the midshipmen.
Little inside trap play. We have not seen that yet from the midshipmen. G.G. Green filling in for Marcus Curry. Marcus Curry, really their home run threat, but been hobbled with an injury for the last 3 weeks. He's just a freshman. Another important third down for the Irish.
On 3rd and 5. Dobbs with a first down.
Did you see the yards after contact, Tom? I mean, you can't tell me he's a quarterback, right? He's part quarterback, part fullback, part passer. A third. Maybe did not a third passer, but watch the yards after the contact. Kerry Neal goes down, is fooled. Right there, he runs to the tackle Brian Smith, and then Kerry Neal for a first down.
Dobbs, the junior from Douglasville, Georgia, went to the Naval Academy Prep School. Douglas County High School, was an all-state basketball player. Well, where to go for him this time as he keeps it. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he does a smart thing and not pitching it.
I think Manti Te'o might have gotten his first tackle of the game. First to hit him anyway.
Manti Te'o, coaches say he's playing with a lot more certainty. I was shocked to find out that Notre Dame, since 1936, has had 61 first-round draft picks, but only one linebacker. It was Bob Crable way back when. That guy could be one.
Who would have guessed that? Second down and long. Triple option. Fullback gets the call. It's Alexander Teach.
You have to be a special player to play a fullback in this offense, Tom, because even when you don't get the ball, you're getting hit every single time. And if you don't like contact, don't sign up to play fullback at Navy.
Third down and 5. Navy's been successful their last 3 third downs.
And Ricky Dobbs has kept them all.
Ball at the Irish 39-yard line. Opening series of the second half. Navy leading 14-0. See the play clock. Got it away. Dobbs keeps. He'll be stopped short of the first down by Darius Fleming.
Well, it doesn't go down easily. Brian Smith had a clean shot at him, kind of slowed him down, and then Darius Fleming finished it off. Brian Smith is right in the middle of the screen, number 58. He gets a shot there, and then Darius Fleming trailing. It looks like they're going for it again here on 4th and 2.
So 4th down and 2. Navy's going to go for it at the Irish 36.
Now, this is one I'd punt and play defense.
This looks like the formation where they tried to draw him offside in the first half and were unable to do it. And that'll be the case here. Delay of game call
It's the
against Navy.
Right play by Coach
5 yards.
Nina Talalo. They played smartly this game, haven't they?
So 4th down and about 7 to go now for the mids, who will line up in punt formation.
Now just don't punt this ball in the end zone and give him a free 20 yards, right? A little pooch punt, Tom.
Delahook has been able to down it 10 times in the 20-yard line with only 1 touchback this season.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want.
Low snap.
And that one's going in the end zone.
Going to reach the end zone on the fly.
That's not a good punt.
So the Irish hold on the first series of the second half. They'll take over at their own 20, trailing the midshipmen by 14. Providing today's dramatic coverage from the air. MetLife has the protection you need for the most important ifs in your life. Visit MetLife.com today. Notre Dame holds Navy. 9 plays, 39 yards, although the midshipmen took 6 minutes off the clock. First possession of the second half for the Irish. Play action fake on first down. Caution with time. Wide open to Golden Tate. Tate spun to the turf by Wyatt Middleton. He will have forward progress for a first down, a gain of 14 yards.
I promise you at halftime, Charlie Weiss said we've got to get him some receptions in the passing game, right? Average 7, only 1 in the first half. Good square in dig route. And as Buddy Green was saying, once he catches it, that's only half the adventure. You need 2 or 3 guys to bring him down, and that's what it took right there.
From the 33. Hand off to Hughes. Robert Hughes with a nice run. 12 yards and a flag down. Middleton again makes the defensive play.
Hey, Robert Hughes probably had his best all-around game last week against Washington State and caught 5 balls, ran for 131 yards, got a lot of tough yards for the Irish.
There's no foul for illegal block in the back. Result of the play, first down.
So pick up the flag and give the Irish the first down.
There is or there isn't a block in the back.
Jimmy Clausen gets the play call, consults that armband that has the list of plays from Coach Weiss.
If you're Navy, you just feel like, hey, you can't give Jimmy Clausen too many chances, right? He's done it all year long, bringing his team from behind.
First down, 46-yard line. Play fake. Clausen, chase from the pocket, now going to scramble with that bad toe and rip down a loss of a yard on the play.
Again, really good coverage because they only rushed, I think it was 3, maybe 4 guys, but Michael Walsh made the sack on him, but it really was one of those coverage sacks.
18th sack surrendered by Notre Dame this season.
And how do you defend Golden Tate? And this is Kevin Edmonds. Golden Tate just ran right over him, was open for what would have been a touchdown. But because he had a flush, the quarterback had a flush in the pocket, couldn't get the ball to him.
James Aldridge in at fullback for the first time today with Hughes the tailback. Extra set of blockers. Clausen hit as he delivered. The ball was tipped.
Yeah, right out of Jimmy Clausen's hands, I think that ball was tipped.
Ramvella again putting the pressure on Jimmy Clausen as he has several times today.
Absolutely. Ramvella of San Antonio, Texas, said he grew up a huge Notre Dame fan and really was looking forward to playing in this stadium one last time. Yeah, you're right. Ramvella got his right hand on the ball. Vella, his teammates call him the fugitive because they visited the White House and with the president. He got pulled aside by the Secret Service, a mistaken identity.
Had the same name as someone that was on the watch list, and Secret Service pulled him aside and questioned him. Now, no question about his play today. It's been outstanding. Big third down coming up for the Irish. Get live scores and news on your phone, plus iPhone users can watch live NBC Sports coverage of Notre Dame games. To find out how, text the word Irish to 51515. Message and data rates apply. Notre Dame facing a third down and 10.
Double coverage on the outside, so the slot guys should be open.
Jimmy Clausen hit 13 of his first 14 passes, only 1 of his last 5.
Yeah, they just changed the coverage too, and Jimmy altered his play.
Clausen on target to Tate. Golden Tate, who surrendered some yardage to try to get away, does indeed, though, have enough for the first down.
Yeah, you see that with 5 white jerseys hit him, he still didn't go down. He is just a monster with the ball in his hands.
That could be a big third down conversion here with the Irish.
And would you like, even though he came back, he still knew the distance for the first down, right? He knew he had to get 10 yards, and indeed he got it with a little extra effort. 5 white jerseys around him.
Ball now at the 43 of the Mids. Clausen with nobody close to him and drills it into coverage, complete to Golden Tate. 14-yard gain, and Tate now finally getting involved. Kevin Edwards had pretty good coverage.
Yeah, flag went down late. Might have been a horse collar call against Kevin Evans, who has played well against Golden Tate.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle on the defense. After this is to the goal, first down.
Square in route by Golden Tate. You know, that dig, you go up and you just really cut it off on a real sharp angle. Plants off that left foot. Ball's delivered perfectly among 3 defenders.
And then Kevin Edwards called for the horse collar tackle.
That's the good call. But clearly one of the adjustments at halftime was get Golden the ball. That's always a good idea, by the way, Tom.
Always. So under 7 minutes to go, third quarter. The Irish have advanced to the Navy 14-yard line. First down, and Clausen almost exclusively through the air on this drive. Penalty marker down. Could be a hold against the Irish as Tate gets another reception from Clausen.
It's amazing to me how Golden Tate, even when you've got 2 guys on him, just seems to find a way to get open.
Looked like a takedown, didn't it?
Yeah.
Against Notre Dame.
Holding number 72 of the offense. 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. Replay first down.
That's Paul Duncan.
We're talking to Buddy Green, the defensive coordinator, about Golden Tate, and said, "Hey, how you gonna stop him?" He says, "You can't stop him. We just hope he has a really bad day." And so just
had a bad first half, anyway.
Yeah.
Or
well, they didn't give
maybe
him
not his fault. Yeah.
There's Buddy Green, interesting guy, coach for 3 decades, high school English teacher.
Kind of a Renaissance man, though, isn't he?
Published poet, wrote a play for his high school students.
Golden Tate, 3 receptions on this drive after only 1 in the first half. Hand off to Hughes. Albert Hughes, minimal yardage, maybe 3.
Nishak, Matt Nishak, number 59 for the midshipman, kind of reached out with his right arm and took him down. And you don't see that too often. It's number 59, Nishak, in here. He's right.
Somewhere in there.
He's somewhere in that mess. You see there, it's right in this guy was unbelievable, fighting off 3 blockers.
Here's Jimmy Clausen stepping up, finding his man Floyd. Michael Floyd all the way to the 1-yard line. Clausen saying, hurry up, get the play in. 22-yard gain to Michael Floyd.
And they're going to quick snap it.
Clausen stepping up in the pocket beautifully. First and goal, Irish. Clausen keeps. No touchdown. Maybe trying to rip the ball free.
Let's go back and look at the play right before this to Michael Floyd. He's the outside receiver here. And again, Jimmy Clausen just does a good job of buying some more time. I mean, he was covered early. A couple of white jerseys around him, and then Jimmy just kind of moves around in that pocket. Great pocket presence. That's where he has really matured, I think, Jimmy Clausen.
Well, Coach Wise telling us that coming into the season, they only had a couple of weaknesses they worked on. That was pocket presence, moving in the pocket, and leadership. He's passed both with flying colors. Robert Hughes for the touchdown.
Good series, good defensive series to start the first half, right? And then Jimmy Clausen drives his team 80 yards in 10 plays. Very efficient drive by the Irish. They've had a lot of long drives this year because they've been so efficient.
Michael Floyd made the big catch, and now Nick Tausch for the extra point. He's missed 2 field goals today, but the extra point is good. So Michael Floyd in his first game back after missing 7 weeks with a broken collarbone makes the big catch as Clausen steps up and finds his sophomore receiver. And then the payoff from Robert Hughes with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. 14-7 Navy. Jimmy Clausen hitting on 4-5 for 60 yards on that drive. 3 receptions by Golden Tate, 1 big one by Michael Floyd. Touchdown by Robert Hughes makes it 14-7 as Ruffer kicks off for Notre Dame. Alexander Teach. And now let's go to Jimmy Roberts in our New York studio.
All right, Tom, Liberty Mutual game break time. Undefeated Iowa, a 16-point favorite hosting Northwestern. Ricky Stanzi is hit in the end zone, fumbles, knocked out of the game. Wildcats recover and score. Go on to beat Iowa. 6 unbeaten teams left in the FBS now. 3 teams with 1 loss in the Big Ten.
All right, Jimmy, and here Notre Dame has narrowed the count to 14-7. Our first down line brought to you by Xerox. Triple option, and it's the fullback Murray biting off another big chunk of yardage to midfield, caught around the ankles by Kyle McCarthy, but he has 22 yards as Ricky Dobbs continues to read perfectly the defense of Notre Dame and make the right decision with the football.
Yeah, well, Vince Murray kind of danced through that hole like Arthur Murray, and it's that first cut that is so important in that fullback position. And Vince Murray, in that first cut of his, he makes the right decision seemingly every time.
It's kind of the tango.
You like that, Arthur Murray?
From midfield, flag down, pitch to Green. Stopped by Notre Dame after a yard, but there is a flag. Kyle McCarthy in the defense.
Ricky Dobbs just keeps taking shot after shot, that time from Manti Te'o.
Vince Murray in the game now, Pat. 7 carries for 90 yards, 13 a carry. And he's already had 300-yard rushing games this season.
Well, you know, that's the amazing thing is out of that fullback position, they have a lot of long runs because you're so much.
Shift on the offense. 2 backs moving at the same time at the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replays first down.
Okay.
Of course, this puts them in a hole. This is what the Navy has a hard time overcoming, but they're the least penalized team in the country, so they don't often get in this situation. Already above their season average. That's up a first down and 15. Triple option. Fullback Murray. 2 yards shy of the original line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and long.
I was watching Corey Finnerty, one of the wingbacks of Notre Dame, block Harrison Smith. And I think you talk about guys getting cut and getting your knees and your feet. And Harrison Smith gets knocked off his feet. It's just, there's going to be a lot of guys sore after today's ball game. It's a different style of offense you don't see much.
Ohio State, Penn State, and Stanford airing it out against Oregon. Emotions are such, Army and Navy, Army and Air Force, I should say, 7-7. You know, emotions play such a big part. You thought Oregon would have a letdown after their walloping of USC a week ago, and sure enough.
Well, you were right.
Dobbs going for 6. Hands it to Jones for the touchdown.
Well, Tom, the coaches said that Ricky Dobbs is the best throwing quarterback they've had in 10 years. But what amazes me, a perfect throw after he's been pounded on and pounded on and pounded on. Just that little skinny post by Greg Jones, right in here. Again, Robert Blanton thought it was run, got fooled, number 12, and then an absolutely perfect throw for the touchdown. But Tom, you can imagine getting hit that much and then have that kind of touch.
Greg Jones with his first touchdown of the season.
They're going to have a look upstairs.
The previous play is under further review.
See if he made the end zone or not, I expect.
Great call, and once again, terrific execution.
I mean, you have to empathize with the defenders. They run, they run, they run, and you got to give run support, and then, bam.
Okay. Knee goes down, and where's the ball? That's a touchdown. That is a touchdown.
He is where's the ball when the knee is down.
Anywhere over that beginning of that white line.
There's the reverse angle.
Still a touchdown.
Knee there.
Remember, it's got to be indisputable evidence to overturn it. I was talking to the replay officials about that indisputable evidence rule before the game, and they say, hey, if you really can't see it plain and simple, we're not going to overturn it, although I've seen it happen this time, this year a couple times. But what a nice call. Ivan Jasper, the offensive coordinator. Still they crossed that plane, didn't you, Tom?
That reverse angle was a little.
After further review, the play stands as called. Touchdown.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep, I agree.
52-yard touchdown from Ricky Dobbs to Greg Jones.
You know, you run it, you run it, you run it, you throw it deep. And you're right, Robert Blanton, you know, it's tough on him, the corner. Out there watching the pitch, the fullback every time, the quarterback. Next thing you know, the wide receiver's running by you.
Joe Buckley, point after. And it is good. First touchdown pass since they played the Hilltoppers back on September 26th. And it's a big one. It puts Navy up 21-7 over the homestanding Irish of Notre Dame. Greg Jones gathers it in from Ricky Dobbs. 21-7, not the usual methodical Navy drive. 3 plays, 72 yards. Took a minute and a half. Teague with the kickoff. Theo Riddick on the return. Riddick gets to the outside. Crosses the 30 to the 34-yard line.
Let's go back and have another look at that touchdown route and watch Robert Blanton at number 12 kind of drop coverage because he expected the run. And there's the route by Greg Jones. Just a little post route. You see number 12, he thought it was going to be an inside run. And I think Robert Blanton thought somebody else, he was going to get help behind him because when he came off the field, he was talking to his coach, Corin Brown, where was my help? And so there was a miscommunication in that secondary on that particular coverage.
21-7, 3 minutes, 22 seconds, third quarter. Notre Dame with their BCS chances on the line. Complete to Hughes. Robert Hughes tackled right at the first down marker. They'll mark it just a bit short, I think. Jabari Tuani makes the Navy play.
Jabari Tuani, a guy that's had a big year for the midshipman at a defensive end spot. Their best defensive lineman.
Jimmy Clausen in the no huddle. Time becoming a factor with 2:52 left in the third, down 14 against a Navy team that is capable of chewing up a lot of clock.
Yeah, they hog the ball, you're right.
Screen pass, Rudolph. Big Kyle Rudolph broke a tackle down to the 44-yard line. First down, Notre Dame.
Well, you know, they first in the second half they got the ball to Golden Tate. This time to Kyle Rudolph, a guy hasn't used much, and he's down with maybe a shoulder injury.
14-yard gain. Rudolph right there by the Notre Dame sideline. He's actually still on the field, so they'll take a timeout. See what happened.
Well, again, 4 white jerseys around him. Comes down hard on his left shoulder. Reaches right for the left shoulder.
Eerily similar to the Michael Floyd play against Michigan State. Mike Ragone comes in to replace Rudolph. Has caught 1 pass this season. Crossing, stepping up, delivers. Pass caught by Floyd. He's to the 30-yard line. Notre Dame first down, covered 13.
Well, the difficult thing is when you play coverage against Notre Dame and only rush 3, sometimes 4, Jimmy Clausen's going to have plenty of time. I mean, he's got 5 blockers against those 3 or 4 rushers. And when that happens, sooner or later, he's going to find Michael Floyd or Golden Tate.
Hurry up offense from the gun. Pick up a blitzer. Find Ragone for his, and the ball comes free. It goes out of bounds before anyone can recover. Let's see if it's ruled a catch or incomplete. Billy Yarborough came up with the football.
I don't know whether they've decided.
I think they're going to say a completion and then fumbled out of bounds.
There's a fumble forward out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the spot of the fumble, second down.
So it will belong to Notre Dame at the spot of the fumble that went out of bounds.
But you're right, Notre Dame in their hurry-up offense now, just because they just don't know how much time they're going to have when they get it back. Ball pops out, good tackle. Once again, this is a good tackling team. That was Schaefer.
And a break for Notre Dame as the ball goes out of bounds.
And the clock starts again. Nope, and then it stops. We're going to go up top.
Going to review, I guess.
Here goes Kyle Rudolph up the
previous
tunnel
play
in the locker
is
room.
under further review.
Well, Charlie Weiss has had some tough injuries to his real playmakers. Michael Floyd, you just saw Kyle Rudolph. Armando Allen hasn't played in 2 weeks.
Coach Niumatalolo getting the explanation.
The ball comes out on a good tackle.
Put his head right on the football.
Yeah, that's Schaefer, I think. And the ball looked like it was on the boundary, didn't it?
And he didn't have possession, I don't think, till it went out of bounds. This angle will show us. Ball's out.
Still don't think he had possession. But you see how these Navy midshipmen kind of rally once the ball has been thrown. Yeah, I just don't think he has full possession before he goes out. Hustling play by Billy Yarborough, really known more as a pass rusher.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed and the spot is correct. Second down.
So all is correct with 1:50 now remaining in the third, and the Notre Dame drive continuing with a 2nd down and 7 from the Navy 28-yard line.
And you see the yards after catch for Michael Floyd. Hard, just like Golden Tate, hard to bring down after he catches it.
Jimmy Clausen working on 7 in a row in the completion department. Swing pass, Hughes. Robert Hughes hit hard. You could hear it up here.
Yeah. Old number 15, Kevin Edwards, making a nice tackle. I mean, think about Kevin Edwards having to guard Golden Tate on those long passes, and with them coming up making a tackle on 240-pound Robert Hughes.
Great respect between these two teams, and the Notre Dame players all saying we've got to match the midshipmen's effort. And the midshipmen, no question, have played their hearts out.
Well, they always do, Tom. You know, every week, and particularly in this game.
They lead it 21-7. Third down. Hughes made a nice cut. Got the first down to the 20-yard line. Looked like he might be stopped in the backfield. Made a nice cut, picks up the first. The Notre Dame drive continues.
Yeah, that's knowing exactly what you needed for a first down. Instead of trying to bounce something out and gain 30 yards, you need 2, and he picked up about 3.5.
Inside the final minute in the third quarter. Clausen, low pass. It'll be a completion to Robbie Paris. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Five-yard gain, second down and 5. Clausen goes for the end zone. Floyd.
Terrific defensive play by Blake Carter.
No good. Yeah, Carter made the play.
Okay, Blake Carter and Michael Floyd have been going at it, and Kevin Edwards and Golden Tate on the other side were going at it, Tom. And these Navy defensive corners, who are a little bit shorter than these guys, doing a great job of making plays.
Hit him hard enough to dislodge the football.
Yeah, it was.
In fact, got his hand between his arms to rake it
very late.
around.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play by Carter.
Stops Jimmy Clausen's streak of 9 in a row and sets up a third down and 5. On the slant to Paris, Robbie holds on at the first down marker.
Robbie Paris just has a knack of being able to get the first downs. You know, did it against Purdue in that 4th and 8, did it against USC in a 4th and 10. I think just did it right there.
Wind the clock as they give him the first down. Get one final play. Clausen scrambling to run, has a block, hit and dropped just short of the goal line. The ball might have come loose.
Maybe saying the ball came out.
Kevin Edwards made the defensive play for the midshipmen.
Leprechaun thinks they have it.
Yeah, but the Navy guys think they have it, and they do.
And Jimmy Clausen's down. Dane Christ, the backup quarterback, not here either. One quarterback left on the roster. Well, Kyle Rudolph goes out. Jimmy Clausen goes out. He's already got a hobbling on his right big toe, trying to get in the end zone. First, Edwards gets a hit on him, and that wasn't a touchdown.
It wasn't a fumble. Did the ground cause the fumble?
Yeah, he may have been down.
It looked like it to me. Let's see. Every play, of course, is reviewed.
Oh, yeah, the ball was loose there. Yeah, that looked like just as he got hit, that ball kind of bobbled. Yeah. Yeah, it was Kevin Edwards who got the initial contact and bobbled the ball.
Ripping it away from Clausen. As Jimmy went to the turf.
5 turnovers last year. That's the, second today? 2 fumbles.
Right.
And what a day Kevin Edwards has had.
So the third quarter is over. Still waiting for the official review of the play, and Jimmy Clausen remains down.
One tough dude, Jimmy Clausen. Evan Sharpley warming up on the sideline. As I said, only the last standing quarterback.
Sharpley warming up as Charlie Weiss looks at his star pupil, Jimmy Clausen, up to his feet. So the third quarter ends on that play. Navy leading 21-7. Back after this word from your local station, Notre Dame football on NBC. Ready to start the fourth quarter at Notre Dame. Over on the Notre Dame sideline, Jimmy Clausen having his left bicep, left wrist examined after being shaken up on that last play of the third quarter. A fumble by Clausen on the scramble, giving Navy the ball at the 1-yard line. Fullback Murray breaking free. Sergio Brown rides him down at the 40-yard line, but 39 yards from the one.
They have just eaten up the Irish on the ground. And you know, there's no real surprises here, Tom. They're just out executing them. And watch Vince Murray from Union, Kentucky, once again right up the gut. He scored once on a touchdown. Late in the run, he protects the football, which is a smart play by Vince Murray.
And he has his 4th straight 100-yard rushing game.
Yeah, and that first cut, we talked about the first cut of the fullback, is so important. He's been doing it right all game long.
9 carries, 132 yards. That's 16 yards a carry. Here he is again. And that'll get him 12.
And also, Tom, you see the way he's protecting the football? I mean, he's getting, you know, that fullback get banged up by a lot of guys, defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties. And, you know, protecting the ball, protecting your lead, he's just not going to turn. Whoa, Columbus came out there, but he's got 2 hands around that ball. It's a smart play by Vince Murray and a physical play by Vince Murray.
Navy totally outplaying Notre Dame today, about a 12-point underdog coming in. And much the dominant team today. Keeps, or no, Dobbs keeps. Not much, a yard or 2.
Well, Coach Niamata Lolo said right to Alex at halftime, we got a long way to go. And I know that's exactly how he's feeling right now. And for the Irish, you know, down 2 touchdowns, the defense is going to have to find some solution.
Of course, the big question mark will be who will be a quarterback for the Irish if they mount a comeback. But like you say, first they've got to stop Navy, and they've been unable to do so today as Murray spins after the initial hit. And Navy with over 300 yards rushing today, and we're still early in the 4th quarter.
You know, we have such respect for these Navy players, and we talked to Vince Murray this week. He wants to fly for the Marines. We talk about his pilot training, said 3 years of pilot training. Really kind of grew up an Academy fan.
Dad was in the Navy, and now a commercial airline pilot.
Grandfather was in the Air Force for 20 years.
Former Cincinnati Enquirer Player of the Year at Wyatt High School in Northern Kentucky. And here is a Dobbs carry that nets about a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, that was going to be a pass. Actually kind of a strange call, to be perfectly honest.
Manti Te'o hit him first.
Limping around himself. My goodness, the Irish have had a lot of stars go down. So you punt the ball here and play good defense if you're a midshipman. Looks like Jimmy Claus is coming back in again.
Well,
he's unbelievable.
You said earlier, he's tough as nails.
Unreal. Bad toe, bad wrist. Been beaten up for 3 years here.
So Kyle Delahook to punt, and if ever they needed Golden Tate to make a play returning a punt, it is now. Delahook, pooch punt, knocks it high. Tate's going to let it go. Took a lucky Notre Dame bounce into the end zone when it looked like Navy had plenty of people down in position to down it. But it's a touchback. Notre Dame from the 20 with Clausen back in the game when we return. Notre Dame football is brought to you by GE, Imagination at Work. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By U.S. Bank, since 1863, the dreams of millions have taken off with us, U.S. Bank. And by Bud Light, not too heavy, not too light, it's just right. MetLife is providing these dramatic views of the Notre Dame campus and the game below. MetLife provides coverage of major sporting events while also providing you with guarantees for the ifs in life. Visit MetLife.com today. Jimmy Clausen back on the field has led 4 career 4th quarter comeback victories. Notre Dame with 6 possessions in the game so far. 2 missed field goals, 2 lost fumbles, 1 touchdown, and 1 failure on 4th and goal. Clausen took a helmet to the wrist last possession as he fumbled, but back in the game and hitting Robbie Paris on a first down pass for a first down. Emmett Merchant chases him out of bounds.
Let's go back and take another look at the hit on the left wrist of Jimmy Clausen. And it was Kevin Edwards. Clausen trying to protect himself and the ball a little bit. The helmet right on the wrist. Was down for a very long time. I'm shocked that he came back in, to be perfectly honest, but I shouldn't be shocked knowing Jimmy Clausen the way we do.
No huddle offense for the Irish. Clausen with all day and put it right on the money. That was beautiful accuracy to Mike Ragone.
Well, you said in all those fourth quarter comebacks, you can never count this guy out.
32-yard gain.
You know, Mike Ragone now in for Kyle Rudolph, really kind of a forgotten tight end, number 83, but has had to respond. All their tight ends are injured now, other than Mike Ragone. Good route, terrific throw by Clausen.
39-yard line, first down Irish. Clausen rolling to his right, trying to buy some time, and pitches it out of bounds.
Did what?
Pitched it out of bounds.
Well, another smart play by Jimmy Clausen, right? Not forcing it at all.
Second down and 10.
I'll tell you,
stop the clock.
His teammates already knew that he was tough, but when he came running back into the huddle, and then he looked at those offensive linemen in the eye, they felt, hey, we are going to win this game.
That one deflected at the line of scrimmage, intended for Golden Tate.
Yeah, was it Ramvella again? Ramvella had tipped one earlier. He was on the blitz, number 34, Ramvella. The guy that... Oh, yeah, he just got to tip all of his 5'9" height there to tip that ball away.
Timed his jump perfectly, though. Setting up a big third down and 10.
Pass rush they have. He'll bring 4.
Clausen's pass is complete to Floyd. Michael Floyd with a big third down conversion. It covered 16.
I'll tell you, those are 2 drill shots by Jimmy Clausen to Ragone and then to Floyd. And it looked like he had a little bit of pressure. He almost had a short arm. And here's the route by Michael Floyd. Another one of those little square ends in front of the safety, just past the corner. Once again, Clausen right on target.
23-yard line of Navy. First down, Notre Dame trailing 21-7. Clausen scrambling, passing, nearly picked off, but somehow caught by Golden Tate. And Tate falling forward for the first down.
How did Golden Tate catch it? I thought that ball was picked off. You know, we've talked so much about his strong hands over the last month. There's another demonstration of the strong body and hands of Golden Tate as he kind of took it away from the defender. And Clausen once again, pretty good zip on it. You know, it looked like Merchant was right there to make the play.
First down, Navy 12. Clausen's pass off the back and intercepted. Off the back with Michael Floyd and picked off by Ramvella.
Well, Ramvella, as we said, who grew up a great Notre Dame fan, has made some spectacular plays this second half. Got a little chippy around the 50-yard line, a flag thrown. But how about Ramvella? Blocked 2 balls. Remember a year ago he made the game-changing play that we've already shown you over the top, and now an interception of Jimmy Clausen. 5'9", 193 pounds.
Play, personal foul, late hit number 7 of the offense. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Jimmy Clausen, of all people, on the penalty. Frustration showing for Jimmy as the Irish commit their 3rd turnover of the game. And the midshipmen have not turned it over all afternoon. 10:02 left. Floyd looking the other way, right off his back and into the arms of Ramvella for the interception. And here's what Clausen did. Got a little push and reciprocated, flag down. Navy in charge. 3rd Notre Dame turnover of the game gives the ball to Navy. The midshipmen leading 21-7. They take over at their own 25-yard line. Triple option, fullback, Murray.
Can't stop it. Let's go back and look at that turnover and complete miscommunication between Jimmy Clausen and Michael Floyd. Again, Mike, watch the eyes of Jimmy Clausen. He's looking at Floyd the entire way. The ball is delivered right on the 3. Unfortunately, it's the back of the 3, not the front of it. And if you look at Michael Floyd, he looked like he was expecting, you know, a running play or the ball to go to somewhere else because he never turns around. Ball gets popped up right off his back, unusual play, and there's old Ramvella to make the interception.
Second down short. Triple option again. Dobbs with a keep. Spinning for a first down, then driven back, but he has forward progress. First for the midshipman.
The Irish have just had a bunch of miscues today. 2 lost fumbles, a couple of missed field goals, the interception, and the failure on 4th and goal on the 3-yard line. But some of that has been some pretty good play by this midshipman defense, right?
And they've churned out over 300 yards rushing against Notre Dame. And Notre Dame has really been unable to stop the triple option.
Absolutely, 324 yards rushing. It's and everything has seemed to work, particularly the fullback.
Maybe back in Irish territory, hoping for a long drive to work on the clock. And Vince Murray, the workhorse, once again, and gets it inside the 45.
At some point, Charlie Weiss is going to have to figure out, hey, do I use my timeouts on defense? I always thought you use them on defense so you can stop the clock on offense, right? He's got 2 timeouts remaining, and you know they're just going to keep churning and churning this clock, use as much of that play clock as they can.
Playing right into Navy's hands. This is what they do. Work the clock, shorten the game, protect the lead. Here is Dobbs. Just about a yard short of first down yardage. Ian Williams chased him down.
This 3rd down, this short yardage play for Notre Dame on defense. Now, we saw him play great short yardage defense against Washington a few weeks ago. They need a similar kind of effort right now on this 3rd and 1.
Navy bidding for their 2nd straight win at Notre Dame Stadium. A win today, and they will have beaten the Irish 2 of the last 3 meetings.
Just against all odds. Smaller, not as fast, not as highly recruited, but somehow they just get it done.
Here's 3rd down and 1. Fullback. No, Dobbs kept it and was stopped by the Irish. Harrison Smith and Darius Fleming.
Terrific play by Harrison Smith. A guy that, as we said, now playing linebacker, clearly more comfortable at playing linebacker. It really made a terrific stop that'll probably force the punt. He's right up there, number 22. Knifing through the edge. You know, he actually made a great play. At first, he looked like he was going to tackle the fullback. Saw he didn't have it, then went after Dobbs. On 4th down, you've got to punt it here, right, Tom?
Yep, but they're going to take their time and use as much of that clock as possible.
Use one of their timeouts.
Take the delay of game, maybe. Not only does it let the clock go all the way down, but it also gives the punter a little more room to
on the offense. 5 yards.
Deaden the ball inside the 20. It is a delay of game against Navy, and the punt team will come out.
Well, as we said before, just don't punt in the end zone, right? A little pooch anywhere inside the 15.
Kyle Delahook is the punter. Notre Dame down 2 touchdowns with only 6:44 left.
Well, 2 years ago, we had a triple overtime game.
What a game that.
Yeah.
Here's Delahook to punt, and John Goodman deep for the Irish. Got it just where he wanted it.
Terrific punt.
Delahook inside the Irish 10 and out of bounds. Well done by Delahook, the junior punter from Pasadena, California. Down 2 touchdowns. Is the sun about to set on the Irish BCS hopes? Jimmy, and Notre Dame now down 21-7 with 6.5 minutes to go, put in this spot by a defense that surrendered 330 yards rushing, the most since 1997 when they faced Stanford. That and 3 turnovers have put the Irish in a deep hole. Trying to come back now from their own 10-yard line. Clausen putting it up for grabs. Let Floyd go up and get it, and he does. No, incomplete.
And once again, these corners of Navy, that time Blake Carter. Blake Carter Michael Floyd have been locked up. Kevin Edwards and Golden Tate. And sure, they've caught some. Tate and Floyd have caught some, but these corners have really held their own. I was watching the tape of the Ohio State game earlier in the year. Blake Carter played really well against Ohio State, and he's played well against Notre Dame.
Michael Floyd unable to come down with it. Yeah, I remember the midshipman nearly upset Ohio State at the Horseshoe. Clausen to Floyd. To the 20-yard line.
Again, if you're the Navy defense, keep everything in front of you, even if they get some first downs. They've got to score twice to tie it up.
Vela and Haberer, the tacklers. First down, clock stops momentarily, and then restarts.
Key is to make sure you tackle them after the catch.
Clausen to Tate.
The hands again of Golden Tate.
Edwards latched onto him, 15-yard gain.
Yeah, Jimmy Clausen just fires it out there, chucks it out there, and Golden Tate once again comes down with it. It's been an amazing, amazing year for Tate.
36.
Now almost on his average with 6 catches today. His average 7 in the season.
From the 36-yard line, Clausen again into traffic where Tate latches onto it just short of midfield. That one covered 13.
Jimmy Clausen just has so much confidence in Golden Tate, even when he's covered, Tom. I mean, there are 2 white jerseys around Golden Tate. Clausen just steps up and just hums this ball into Tate. Again, pretty good coverage here by Papasil and Kevin Edwards.
Here's Clausen going for Floyd, who snags it but out of bounds.
Yeah, good body position by Blake Carter.
That'll stop the clock at 5:38, and the Irish trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Blake Carter did just a terrific job of kind of using that boundary as that 12th defender.
Sellout crowd, Notre Dame Stadium, stunned silence. Clausen double punches and then just flips it to Hughes. Robert Hughes making a nice run. Hughes just short of the 20-yard line. That's a 30-yard gain. Carter and Vela tracking down the big man who made the catch. Desperation by Clausen to find him.
So he's done a great job in the pocket today, hasn't he? Again, Jimmy Clausen. Just kind of at the very last moment, right before he gets hit, he flips it to number 33, Robert Hughes. Sam Young lost his helmet, and that's what's taking so long to get back on the line of scrimmage.
Now official timeout. Although the clock did tick away several precious seconds.
And this is a break for the Irish, right? Stopping the clock, but I think they'll start again. His helmet ended up about 30 yards away from Sam Young. Senior, 6'8", 330 pounds, 7 inches taller than the guy he's blocking today, about 55 pounds heavier than the guy he's blocking today.
Senior from Coral Springs, Florida, started every game of his career.
And he's had a really nice Notre Dame career. Thought about going to Florida, but wanted to change the scenery, wanted to try something a little different, get out of his comfort zone.
His equipment timeout here, so I think they're going to consult the replay officials to see what the time should be. There's the 47th consecutive start for Big Sam.
There was a first down on the play, and the game clock did not stop. Please reset it to 5 minutes, 28 seconds.
Well, that's a guy that, as you said, started every single game. Came in as really the #1 prospect as an offensive lineman and won the Florida High School Player of the Year over Tim Tebow when they were both seniors in Florida.
Meanwhile, Jimmy Clausen has hit 32 of 43 for 364 yards, but no touchdowns, 1 interception. To his right and finding Michael Floyd.
And Floyd does a great job of getting out of bounds, saving some clock.
And picking up the first down to boot. Irish driving, but this is where they've had problems today.
Well, you know, just knowing the situation of the game, Jimmy Clausen looking right first, buying some more time, finds a wide open, this time looking at him, Michael Floyd, and then Michael Floyd does a good job of stopping the clock.
5 times in the red zone today in Notre Dame and only 1 touchdown to show for it. 3 times they lost the ball inside the Navy 5. Clausen going for the end zone, and Floyd. And Floyd was the out of bounds. Yes, looks like a penalty marker's down. Or is it? Blake Carter and Michael Floyd have had quite a battle today.
They have been absolutely locked up.
It's right in the corner, and I thought I saw a flag, but apparently, yes, it is pass interference on Carter.
Well, they've been close. They've been battling. It's been this pass interference. It's almost been called on Blake Carter a couple times. Perfectly honest, that's the same one we've seen before. He had his head turned around.
And a push-off,
yeah, I
perhaps
think that
could be called on Floyd.
Offensive interference. That's not interference on Blake Carter, I don't believe.
Floyd pushing off for a little space. Did make another remarkable catch, though. 1st and goal. 2-yard line. Empty backfield. No play. Tate, like an outfielder, which he is, makes a one-handed stab.
There's an illegal snap on the offense. 5 yards, still 1st down.
Well, illegal snap, I'm not sure exactly what that was.
It was a little double clutch. I think everybody moved, and Eric Olson had not snapped it yet. Watch the center.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
First and goal now from the 7-yard line.
Michael Floyd with single coverage down here at the bottom.
Clausen fakes a handoff. Coverage breaking down over the head of Golden Tate, who was defended again by Kevin Edwards.
It's been a fun battle watching those two.
Evans and Carter, the cornerbacks, with the vaunted Notre Dame receiving corps, have more than held their own.
There he is at the top of the screen. That's a hold. That should have been a penalty right there.
Holding your own, literally.
Yeah, indeed. There was a pass interference called a moment ago, but that should have been a hold on Kevin Edwards.
2nd down goal, 7-yard line. Notre Dame showing the blitz. And that'll be another 5-yard walk-off against the Irish. Just not looking sharp today.
You know, the midshipmen have really forced their hand.
51 offense, 5 yards, 2nd down.
So Dan Wenger in for Trevor Robinson at guard.
Wenger, who was demoted this season, been a starter. Went home, talked to his brothers, his parents. They convinced him that a change in attitude was necessary. He made that change in attitude, hanging in there, and now regaining a starting spot with a very positive attitude for this season.
Maybe has just not been able really to get to Jimmy Clausen, to put some pressure on, but have not been able to sack him.
Pick up a blitz. Clausen rolling. Pass caught. Touchdown, Michael Floyd.
You know, give Jimmy Clausen some credit. I mean, just get banged up. You can knock that guy down, but you can't knock him out of the game, as we have seen for 3 years. Once again, moving in the pocket, the maturity finds Michael Floyd, who does a terrific job of coming back to the football, keeping a foot in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
Jimmy Clausen now approaching 400 yards passing. That's his first touchdown of the game.
Well, his feet were in. I'm not that sure about the ball, right? We may have a look at that.
Review it with 4:46 on the clock.
Well, Niamat Talalolo
Navy
wants a review.
has challenged the ruling on the field that the ball did not cross the goal line.
It looks like a touchdown.
I think it did,
there.
yes.
Yeah, that looks like a touchdown. Good challenge, though. It's not the feet necessarily, it's where that ball is.
But I
think
the ball was clearly in the end zone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it crossed the plane. It should be a touchdown for the Irish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Jimmy Clausen. Man.
Well, remember the meeting last year against Navy when the midshipmen had a near miraculous comeback, converting on 2 onside kicks. Will it be the other way around this year?
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touchdown. Navy is charged a timeout.
We said it a few moments ago. When Jimmy Clausen came trotting back out there and he didn't look like he was going to be able to go, he looked at his offensive lineman in the eye. Those guys absolutely believe they can win because they've done it before. They've been there and they've done that.
Touchdown drive, 90 yards in 9 plays, just under a minute 48. Used just a minute 48. And now the extra point. Tausch. It is good. And it's a 7-point game with 4:46 on the clock. Jimmy Clausen tossing the touchdown pass to Michael Floyd. His 6th receiving touchdown of the season makes it a 7-point Navy lead. A lot of offense from both teams today, but Navy scoring a touchdown on their first possession of the game after a fumble by Notre Dame. They've led throughout. It's 21-14 with 4:46 left, and Ruffer will kick it off for the Irish.
It looks like Navy's expecting an onside kick. They've got everybody up.
Ruffer boots it away. And that will be to the 1-yard line, picked up by Mario Washington and stopped short of the 15-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, Navy took a chance. They had their hands team in, and Notre Dame got a great play as they kicked it deep, and they get great field position.
Time now for our Liberty Mutual Legends of the Game. Roger Staubach scrambled his way to success as Navy's all-time greatest quarterback. He became just the 2nd Naval Academy football player to win the Heisman Trophy. After 4 years in the U.S. Navy, including a tour in Vietnam, joined the Dallas Cowboys and led them to 4 Super Bowls and named the Walter Camp Foundation Man of the Year in 1985. That's our Liberty Mutual Legends of the Game.
Crowd's into it now.
13-yard line. Triple option to the fullback.
Nothing.
Stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
One of the very few times the fullbacks got 0 yards on a carry.
Couldn't have come at a better time for the Irish.
Steve Filer, Ian Williams, and it was really Filer. Just kind of took it away.
Darius Fleming's in there too. 2nd down and 10. Approaching 4 minutes. Cuts up. And again, the Irish stopping. It's going to be 3rd and long. Darius Fleming makes another play for Notre Dame.
I'll tell you what, Ricky Dobbs got, 4 yards that looked like with nothing though. I mean, good defense, but Ricky Dobbs with another powerful run, giving himself a chance with just 6 remaining on the 3rd down mark. Good, Sante's a good pull. Yeah, the pitch was definitely taken away. Good decision, then a powerful run by Ricky Dobbs.
3rd down and 6. Pitch. Green. 1st down Navy.
Somebody got a block on Manti Te'o. Manti Te'o looked like he was going to make a play for a loss. And then a Navy offensive player took him out on Manti Te'o.
Huge 3rd down conversion by the midshipmen.
Te'o number 5 and then McCarthy number 28. A terrific block by the slot back Bobby Doyle. And that allowed him to get to 1st. That low cut block.
1st down Navy now with 3 minutes left.
Well, that looked like a strange mesh there between
Dobbs
quarterback and fullback.
Yeah.
Notre Dame with 2 timeouts remaining.
They just take 1.
Okay, 1 remaining.
Timeout, Notre Dame.
Sunday night football night as Tony Romo and the Cowboys take on Donovan McNabb and the Eagles in a fight for first place in the NFC East. Bob Costas hosts Football Night in America live from Philadelphia with coverage starting at 7 Eastern on NBC.
You think Notre Dame would want to play Navy more than one time a year? I don't think anybody would. I mean, they're just tough and passionate, and
they'll become bowl eligible if they win today and would be on their way to the Texas Bowl.
And Charlie Weiss is thinking about a big bowl if they can win their next 4 games, but they got their hands full today.
2 minutes and 50 seconds. 1 timeout for the Irish. Calling on their defense to make a play. Dobbs keeps. Collapsed right at the line of scrimmage by Manti Te'o.
Manti Te'o, and I think Ian Williams was in there as well. Te'o's a guy really coming up, plays full blast, does Te'o. He's up here. Just reads it perfectly. Wasn't even really blocked, which oftentimes against an option team you aren't. But Te'o read it perfectly. Charlie Weiss said he was going to have a monster game because he's the most athletic guy in the field. Corwin Brown, the co-defensive coordinator.
And Irish take their final timeout. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for Navy, and a huge play coming up. There's the highly touted freshman linebacker from Hawaii.
Playing with so much more certainty. Looks like he knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, this play could go a long way toward determining the outcome. Dobbs rolling, keeping, cutting back. Stopped short of the first down by Manti Te'o.
Well, it was supposed to be a rollout pass. Coverage wasn't there. Ricky Dobbs does the smart thing, really, just protect the football. Good coverage by the Irish secondary. And then, some really good early penetration by Steve Filer forced him back inside and then right into the waiting arms of Manti Te'o. Remember, the Irish last year blocked the punt, which really changed the outcome of the game, the complexion of the game.
And Navy just going to let the game clock tick down inside 2 minutes. And they call timeout with 2:01 remaining. So Navy will have 1 timeout left, 2:01 on the clock. And they'll send in Kyle Delahook, who has not had a punt blocked all season long.
That's like saying no hitter. Just don't do that to the poor kid, Tom.
Well, certainly Navy has earned their stripes today, don't you agree? They've outplayed the Irish, and Notre Dame not sharp, committing turnovers, allowing so many yards rushing, but still the outcome in doubt with Jimmy Clausen at the controls when they get the ball back.
Well, he's done it 4 times, and there's maybe a Heisman perhaps in the waiting for him in these kind of games if he can come back and win a game like this. He looked like he wasn't going to be able to play. Evan Sharpley was warming up, the backup quarterback.
These are the kind of things of Notre Dame legend. If Jimmy Clausen can pull it off, they're going to get the ball back. One would presume. Golden Tate awaits the punt as Clausen has had a career high today. Delahook. Not a good punt.
Yeah, that should get a good bounce there.
They get a great bounce.
You can just tell by the way the ball was sailing.
It will be down at the 12-yard line. That's a 55-yard punt when it counted for Delahook. So the Irish will have 1 home game remaining after today. It will be against UConn, Connecticut, and Notre Dame, presented by Canon, coming up in 2 weeks here on NBC.
They're may be a lot to play for in that Connecticut game if Jimmy Clausen can get this win today for the Irish. And Clausen has been awfully good in the fourth quarter this year.
Only a minute 48, and he starts at his own 13-yard line. Protection for Floyd. The defender fell down, and Floyd dropped it right through his hands.
Well, Floyd looked like he was knocked out of bounds, then came back in, which is permissible, but he did drop it. We mentioned he's been out 5.5 games, but didn't look like it. Pushed out there. If you're pushed out, you can come back in and catch it. You know, just kind of an awkward jump on it.
Clausen thought he had him. Second down. Scrambling to buy a little time. Across the middle. Short hop. Floyd hit him on the foot, I think.
Tough throw for Jimmy. You know, he's moving to his left, trying to throw it back with some steam on it to Michael Floyd. You know, bouncing around the pocket. Jimmy Clausen is much better when he's, like most quarterbacks, rolling to his right. That's where he's thrown touchdowns today. But that time he had to roll to his left.
Notre Dame with 2 downs left. Clausen. Sacked. Tawani with the sack of Jimmy Clausen.
You know, 2 years ago it was Ram Vella who made that big play. Jabari Tawani, their best defensive lineman, made that play.
Second sack of the day for the midshipmen. Down to 4th down. 4th down and 20 for the Irish.
And there are a lot of white jerseys deep, as you can see in that picture.
Clausen from his own end zone, sacked for a safety. What a play by the Navy defense, 2 downs in a row. Craig Schaefer sacking Jimmy Clausen for the safety. And the midshipmen come to Notre Dame Stadium and are on the verge of winning their 2nd straight here after losing 43 straight times to Notre Dame. They look like they're going to win for the 2nd time in 3 years.
Tom, we said when you play Navy, you know you're going to get maximum effort from those guys. Jabari Tawani, number 98, just going through the block of Sam Young. Good coverage, forces Clausen to hold it too long. And then his teammate, Craig Schaefer, their leading sacker, number 49, this time against the other tackle, Paul Duncan, the tackle for the safety and probably the win. Man.
Jubilation on the midshipmen's sideline. Well, they're happy anyway when they go on the road to play a game. One of the players saying it's a little bit of paradise as they get to sleep late and sleep in a hotel bed and don't have to go to formation or class. And the
You're right, John.
midshipmen who made the trip into South Bend enjoying the moment here at Notre Dame Stadium. And a long afternoon for Jimmy Clausen. Look at that celebration over in the corner of the end zone. Charlie Weiss, bitter defeat as he'll go down to a team he respects. But as he told us yesterday, he's not throwing any bouquets their way until after the game.
Yeah, but no BCS bowl game now, Tom.
We're going to kick off with Tausch, and he's probably going to try the onside. One would guess. There it is. And the Irish had a chance at it. But it'll be Navy's ball.
Remember, you used to mention the Irish recovered 2 onside kicks last year,
Not
but they
the
can't
Irish,
turn
but Navy.
Excuse me, Navy. Yeah. The Irish can't turn the tables on them. Boy, they have just midshipmen have played awfully well in just about every phase.
Well, now they're saying Notre Dame did recover.
I saw a white jersey with the ball in his hands.
The ball traveled 10 yards and was possessed by the kicking team. Therefore, it will be Notre Dame's ball at the spot of recovery.
Okay, turnabout is fair play then.
Please reset the game clock to 59
Charlie Weiss
seconds.
said he's been practicing this all week long on the hands team, but now on the kicking team. Perfect kick up high. Was it Golden Tate?
Let's see.
Number
Yes, it
23, Golden Tate, once again.
Reviewed, and Notre Dame ball, but
Golden Tate.
They're down by 9. Clausen on target to Tate. Blasted out of bounds.
It's got drilled by Tony Haber. Hey, how about the onside kick? Like, once again,
hands.
Golden Tate on your hand. He's the best guy to have on your hands, Steve.
Yep.
He just got drilled on that particular play.
49 seconds left. Ouch. Clausen goes underneath to Riddick. Made a move to get by one man. Now racing for the sideline, out of bounds around the 30.
Good, smart play. Athletic play by Riddick at the beginning, and then a really smart play at the end to get out. Well, they're going to need a touchdown and another onside kick themselves, right?
Right. 33 seconds left. Got to go for the end zone. Pick up the blitz. Clausen underneath Tate. Golden Tate fighting for the touchdown.
He's unbelievable. What a last minute so far, Tom. Saw it 2 years ago. Golden Tate recovers the onside kick. We talked about Navy never giving up. How about the Irish? Never quit, never giving up.
31 yards to Golden Tate. Watch him run after the catch.
And what a second half. In the first half, he had one touch. Wow. Wow.
Here's the extra point attempt. Tausch. Sneaks it through the uprights.
Hey, let's go back and look at the onside kick and then the recovery by Golden Tate, followed by another remarkable touchdown. A guy who has risen to the occasion all season long rises to that occasion, getting up and over the white jerseys. Doesn't bobble the ball, never does. Jimmy Clausen, once more, just buying a little extra time in the pocket. And then what looks like he should be tackled by 3 guys, just outruns him and outpowers him. Part halfback, part wide receiver, both parts pretty good.
9 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown today for Golden Tate, who was virtually blanked in the first half.
Almost came in the second half.
And he made the recovery of the onside kick. Set up that touchdown. They're going to try to get him there again.
You know, it's amazing. You recover about 10% of onside kicks. Last year, Navy recovered 2 of them. Now Notre Dame has 1. Charlie Weiss coaching up his quarterback, Jimmy Clausen, assuming he's going to get that ball back.
So Tausch with the onside kick last time, put it right where his team could recover it. It has to go 10 yards, remember. And we'll try to do it again.
Let's have a look of old number 23, Golden Tate. He's a guy that is up there at the top. I mean, the key thing on the onside kick is to get that high hop.
Here we go. Good high hop. And Navy's ball. Navy comes down with this one. Well, they gave it a chance.
Well, it looked like Golden Tate had a chance again.
Navy's football.
Wow, what a incredible finish. What an incredible finish. Take another look at that last onside kick here, Tom. Again, the perfect high bounce. Looked like Filer, number 46, had a chance. Hit by a Navy player out of bounds.
Well, Coach Niumatalolo will celebrate a victory, his first over the Irish. And here's the victory formation, the kneel down. Notre Dame cannot stop the clock.
Well, congratulations to the middies. He played great.
Navy comes into Notre Dame Stadium, and they win their second straight at Notre Dame, having bested the Irish in a triple overtime game, breaking a 43-game losing streak to Notre Dame 2 years ago. Competitive game last year, and now returning to Notre Dame Stadium for the victory over the Irish, 23-21, effectively ending Notre Dame's hopes of a BCS Bowl. And let's go down to Alex Flanagan.
Coach, you told us coming into this game that tremendous effort would be what would win it for you. Describe what kind of effort your team showed you today.
Oh, we got unbelievable kids, and I couldn't be more happy for them. I mean, these kids are going to go out and serve our country, and a great present for them.
What won this game for you today?
Just heart, just heart. That's a great team. Coach Weiss and Notre Dame's an unbelievable program, but just heart of our kids, and I couldn't be more proud of all of them.
We'll walk with Coach over to the alma mater as he gives Manti Te'o a hug. The two guys, Tom, of course, from the same town in Hawaii. Coach, a little bit about the defensive effort. I mean, your two corners covering Tate and Floyd the way that they did.
Unbelievable effort, like I said, from Coach Green, our defensive staff, our secondary guys. That's a great offense right there. And I thought our offense played well, too. Just a great team win, and I'm ecstatic for our young men.
And Tom, they are now bowl eligible to add on top of that. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Yes, they are. And wasn't it interesting how many times he used the word effort? That's the key word for Navy as the Notre Dame players join the midshipmen for the playing of Navy blue and gold. Isn't it sweet? The midshipmen celebrate a 23-21 victory. And perhaps no class on Monday back in Annapolis. One of the big plays, a Rand Vela interception. Remember, he made such a great play in the win 2 years ago. Catches that carom off the back of Michael Floyd. Just when it appeared Notre Dame was going to score and make a real game of it. That was G as Navy holds on to win. So the final score, the difference, a safety that came late. Navy 23 and Notre Dame 21. Be sure to go to NBCSports.com.